Hi everyone. Welcome to Married to the Plot. I'm Hannah.
And I'm Cam.
I read smut.
And I don't.
Today we're getting into Lights Out by Navessa Allen.
Yeah, I don't. I've seen all your TikToks and I have no idea what's going on.
It's going to be amazing. So before we get into this, I want to say that this podcast will contain spoilers for Lights Out. And I'm going to go ahead and show Cam the cover. He's kind of glimpsed it, but I don't think he's really seen it. I just want to kind of get his reaction from it for funsies.
Alright, blue skull. I'm assuming that's the mask from the fan art.
Is there any text there?
The couple who slays together stays together. Okay, so we got some criminals.
Criminals? No. Okay, so we're going to get we're going to get into the trigger warnings of this. The first one is sexually explicit discussions and scenes, including anal play, alcohol consumption, mention of off-page rape, mention of past domestic abuse, memories of experienced childhood abuse, medical content, blood and gore in a hospital setting, discussion of mental health, mention of serial killers and their crimes, limited description of mass shootings, stalking, invasion of privacy, home invasion, hidden cameras, hacking, theft, mentions of unintentional cannibalism, remembered, death, desecration of a body, car accident, remembered, description of a violent death, remembered, death of parent, breath play, knife play, gun play, fear play, primal play, and mask play. It's a hell of a menu there.
Yeah. On that note, I need a bourbon. Roll the music.
Welcome to Married to the Plot, where the scenes run wild and the takes run hot. She reads the steam, he reads the room, they connect a lot. Pour a drink, press play. You're married to the plot.
Alright, so we open the book in Allie's point of view, right in the middle of another brutal shift at the trauma hospital. She's comforting Brindley, a brand new nurse who's on the verge of quitting after witnessing a gunshot wound to the chest. It's fucking brutal. Like, this chick is full on having a minty bee. The hospital is an inner city trauma center in a massive metropolis with insanely high crime rates, and they're dangerously understaffed. They can't afford to lose anyone, especially not someone so early in their career. Allie, who is clearly used to holding herself together for everyone else, steps alongside another nurse, Tanya, who is fucking amazing. I love Tanya. I don't think I mentioned her a whole lot in this, but in the book, she's incredible. To calm Brindley down. Brindley is so shaken she's close to going into shock and definitely shouldn't be driving. Allie gives her the hospital's 24/7 therapist hotline and personally takes her home, making sure she's safe from her long-ass shift. Like I said, she's going into a minty fucking bee. When Allie eventually gets home, it's late. She pauses outside for a moment, admiring her Christmas decorations through her window. It is not December, Cam. It's past December.
Do we got like some Stranger Things going on?
No.
No? Okay.
But I know you hate decorations
I
out
do.
past the time.
And that's their Halloween decorations.
And she's single, and she doesn't really have a family that matters anymore. So decorating is how she keeps herself from feeling the weight of being alone during the holidays. Still, she's not completely alone. The moment she steps inside, her black and white long-haired cat comes yowling towards her. She scoops him up, burying her face in his fluffy belly, already aware that non-cat people would absolutely judge her for this.
Yeah, same.
But as she notes to herself, on principle, I don't trust anyone who doesn't like cats, so they never be around to judge me anyway.
Okay, that's why you're lonely. I don't know.
I can't remember what she calls this. It's some kind of therapy for her, but she like literally shoves her face in this cat's belly.
That sounds disgusting.
And just like,
It sounds like a lot of cat hair, and that's gross.
No. So she puts Fred down, which is the cat's name. I don't know if I said that. And she heads to the shower, then changes into comfortable clothes, ready to finally relax. With a glass of wine in hand, she opens social media and starts scrolling, landing, as she often does on rough days at the hospital, on thirst trap of men in masks. It's basically TikTok. We're talking about TikTok. It's
Sounds
TikTok.
like mask talk,
Mask talk.
which is kind of my side of TikTok.
She pours herself. Let's see. Wait. Her favorite character is a user called the period faceless period man period. He checks every box for her. A custom mask that's just as sensual as it is terrifying, a muscular build, good lighting, great music choices, and a talent for keeping viewers begging for more. Watching his videos has become her go-to decompression ritual. Like, she watches this shit fucking religiously. She is obsessed with this man.
So like stalker vibes almost.
Yes. Also, I'm going to mention real quick, I want you to count how many times coffee is offered in this book. I think I mentioned it way down in my notes, but at that point, coffee had been offered so many times. So many times. Just so you know. I want you to try to keep count, because it's a lot.
I doubt, but I'll try.
She pours herself another glass of wine, hoping to get just tipsy enough to fall asleep, and pulls his videos back up. She admits it's hard to choose a favorite, but if she absolutely had to, it would be the one where he's sprawled across the couch, shirtless, head resting on the arm, bathed in red light. You can only see him from the ribs up, tattooed skin, tense muscles, and his arms move in a slow, rhythmic motion that very clearly suggests he's jerking off without ever going far enough to get the video banned. What's that noise?
I don't know how
As
to
she,
feel about that.
as she fantasizes, her thoughts drift to Tyler, her on and off hookup for almost a year.
Well, Tyler's gonna be pissed.
They haven't seen each other in a while, but she's about to have 2 days off and figures she'll invite him over. On impulse, she texts him, I have Tuesdays off starting Friday. When I come over that night and bring a mask like this, I promise I'll make it interesting for you. And she sends him a screenshot of the faceless man. His reply doesn't come until the next day while she's back at work. Damn girl, you're still alive? I thought you ghosted me. It's been 2 months. Pass on the mask thing. I'm not into it. And I'm seeing someone anyways.
Oof.
Oof. So now we're in Josh's point of view. Josh is at home playing video games with his roommate, Tyler,
Oh.
when he pauses the game to text one of his hookups back. Tyler does, not Josh. And he effectively ends things. He's confused because as far as Josh remembers, he ended things months ago. Tyler explains that he assumed she had ghosted him. Josh asks almost casually, if she's the ER nurse. Josh already knows she's an ER nurse, her address, where she went to school, her grades, her current work schedule. Tyler then shows him the text she sent, the one asking him to bring a mask. Josh freezes. The screenshot attached to the message is from a secret social media account Josh has been running for the past 2 years.
Oh shit.
He panics but manages to accidentally delete this text from Tyler's phone. He's relieved Tyler never notices the tattoos in the video.
Yeah.
They're Josh's tattoos.
Jesus.
They go back to their game, but Josh is distracted. His mind drifts back to the first time he met Allie. It was early one summer morning. Josh couldn't sleep. He rarely could. And he could hear Tyler and a woman through the walls. He eventually gave up and went to make coffee. Just as Tyler's bedroom door opened, Josh expected to see his roommate. Instead, it was Allie. She was tall, which immediately caught his attention, especially since she was wearing one of Tyler's shirts, and it barely covered her crotch. His eyes dropped instinctively, taking in her long legs. He noticed right away that she clearly worked out. Thick thighs, toned calves, muscular arms. Allie was fucking hot.
Sounds like a muscle mommy.
The narration gives us a clearer picture. More striking than traditionally beauty, she has a pointed chin, full lips that look like they've been used well the night before,
Damn.
a nose Josh's mother would have described as distinctly Italian, and large, dark eyes. Her brown hair was messy, looping and snarling all the way down to her elbows.
Damn, she got some long ass hair.
She does. Josh barely spoke to her, keeping his responses short and distant. He didn't want her or anyone to recognize him, especially not because of his father. That summer, everywhere Josh went, people told him he looked like that guy they'd heard about on a podcast or watched on a true crime documentary. His father, George Marshall Seacliff, had a Netflix documentary released about him. Reporters were desperate to find surviving family members for interviews.
What does Daddy do?
You're going to find out. Josh worked hard to make sure no one could find him, or his mother or stepfather. That fear was what originally pushed him into hacking in high school. He learned how to make people disappear digitally, and those skills ended up landing him in a high-paying job protecting major companies from cyber theft. He worked from home with flexible hours, which leaves him plenty of time for his other hobby, posting masked thirst traps online.
Makes sense.
Is that what you would do in your spare time secretly?
You'd never know what I do. I have some hobbies.
Ominous. Josh mostly stays single. He doesn't want anyone connecting him to his father, a man who preyed on sex workers, convincing them to get in his car in a way Josh compares to Ted Bundy.
Hopefully he had a better car than a Beetle.
Hey, I love Beatles.
Yeah, they're terrible.
No, they're not. Especially not a pretty lilac one. Back in the present, Tyler comments that Josh is playing like shit. Remember, they're playing video games. And announces he's heading to the gym. Josh initially acknowledges that Tyler is kind of a dick, but he also is the only person who stood by him when his dad was arrested. They were childhood friends. Like, Tyler remembers his dad. Kind of shit.
Well, sometimes the best friends are the ones that are assholes.
Yeah, but Tyler's kind of like... He doesn't pick up after himself. He's kind of snobby.
Oh, so he's just a prick. He's not like a...
Yeah, he's kind of a dick, but again, like, he's the only one who was there for him. You'll find out a little more about, like, their backstory. But Tyler, like, he's an asshole, but he's Josh's asshole, if that makes sense.
I guess.
But he was also the only person who stood by him when his dad got arrested. They moved cities together. Josh dropped out of college, studied hacking online, eventually hacked his current employers just to prove he could, and they hired him on the spot. They pay him well enough that rent is covered for 2 years in advance. And an expensive equipment barely registers as a purchase.
That'd be
So
nice.
he's fucking loaded.
I want to be that loaded. Not like in the context of your books loaded, but...
Hey. What's wrong with my books? Normally, he runs background checks on anyone Tyler brings home, both for their safety, but Allie was different. His interest lingered long after she stopped coming over. He goes to his desk and starts combing through the comments on the videos Allie sent Tyler, searching for her account. Nearly an hour passes before he finds it. And you're going to love this nickname, or her screen name. Allie Oxenfree.
That's pretty good. I like that one.
He hacks into it easily and confirms the IP address is local, originating from her block, so he knows it's her.
Damn.
Her comment reads, "Sir, I'm at work. How dare you?"
It's one of those. Sorry, I was walking my fish. Can you
Oh, yeah.
do that again?
I think it goes into a couple more of her comments, but her comments are, like, thirsty as shit. Like, she is drooling for this man.
I was folding my dishes.
Can you redo that, please? Using code, he digs deeper and finds that she liked, saved, and commented on almost all of his videos. The realization turns him on, but the thought of actually hurting her shuts that down fast. He likes rough sex, but he's not like his father. Still, he keeps reading her comments, fantasizing about giving her exactly what she wants. This man is always coming onto my For You page and never on me, and that's a tragedy.
Damn.
She got the hots. His thoughts spiral. He touches himself to the idea of breaking into her home, coming undone at the thought of her being scared and aroused at the same time. He wants to find a way to bring those shared fantasies to life without ending it up in arrest. So, like, he doesn't want to be arrested at all.
So, like, I'm trying to, just like he want like a non-consensual, consensual
No,
type deal?
he wants her to consent, and you'll hear more about this. Like, he does a lot of things to give her power, but he likes that, like, fear in her eyes before it turns to arousal kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
A week later, Josh stands outside Allie's house, trying to talk himself out of what he's planned to do. He's thought everything through, hacking the neighbors' cameras, wearing a balaclava. Is that how you say that word?
Mm-hmm.
Balaclava? Oversized boots with plaster over the soles to disguise his footprints. Eventually, he picks the lock and slips inside immediately, listening for signs of an attack dog. He didn't know if she had a dog or not. Instead, he's met with an unholy yowl. Allie's fluffy cat, Fred,
Oh yeah. Fucking
darts
Fred.
into the room and skids to a stop. Josh freezes briefly, worried that he might hurt the animal, but instead he finds himself thinking the cat is cute. He scratches Fred between his ears. It's the first animal he's ever pet, because he's terrified that he's going to be like his dad, and like he knows that the first step
Yeah.
of a serial killer is hurting small animals, so he's never even allowed himself near them.
That's fair.
But then Josh stands, refocuses, and gets to work. He doesn't have much time. He has a camera to set up and a video to make. So now we're in Allie's point of view. She's halfway through her shift at the hospital when things finally start to slow down. During a rare lull, she's curled into a chair with a cup of coffee, trying to recover from what's already been a rough day. She chats quietly with Tanya, who mentions an upcoming hospital job fair, a way to recruit more people into nursing. It counts as a shift, which immediately makes it more appealing. Allie agrees to go with her. Remember, they're like hella short-staffed. Tanya gets paged and rushes off, leaving Allie alone. Out of habit, Allie checks her pager, and when she realizes it's Thursday. Thursday means a new video from her favorite creator.
Oh shit.
The Faceless Man posts like clockwork every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. That's a hell of a schedule.
Well, I mean, I guess it's like TikTok, right?
Yeah, like I said,
So,
it's TikTok basically.
I mean, that's not terrible. That's honestly pretty sparse.
He's like, again, clockwork. He never fucking misses. And they're thirst traps. You imagine filming thirst traps at least 3 times a week?
That's not that bad.
But thirst traps?
We make memes.
That's a lot of effort for thirst traps.
2 to 3 times a
Maybe
day.
it's not for men. Men just gotta like take their shirt off and mess their hair up for a thirst trap.
Like, and wear a mask so
And-
nobody
yeah,
can see how
yeah.
busted you are.
He always wears a mask. I think there were comments even saying in his TikToks, like, I bet he's busted kind of shit. And Allie is like, no, this man is not busted. Allie bolts to her locker, digging her phone out of her purse and opening the app. Already searching his name, her physical reaction hits immediately. Her breathing picks up as she stares at the screen, nipples peeking beneath her scrubs. She compares herself to a Pavlovian dog, except instead of drooling over food, her body responds somewhere else entirely at the promise of pleasure. She knows this can't be normal, the way her body reacts so fast, like she's already primed and from just seeing his page. She tells herself she needs to stop masturbating to his videos, because being this turned on this quickly is becoming a real problem. And that's like part of a real quote there. She does compare herself to a Pavlovian dog.
Damn.
Like, she's masturbated and stuff to his videos so often that her body immediately thinks, like, oh shit, it's go time. Especially now when she has no time to do anything about it and knows she'll be left aching and distracted for the rest of the night. She opens the new video and freezes. The mask is resting on a bed. Her bed. The comforter is identical to the one she owns. She watches the rest of the video, fantasizing about him, completely lost, until her pager goes off. Jolted back to reality, she leaves a quick reply before closing the app. I have that comforter. Let's go, bitches. She's fucking excited. She's like, I own that bedsheet.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I can't see the video, so.
Well, it's like seeing your blanket in a movie. You're like, oh
Yeah,
shit.
is it just a blanket, I guess?
Yeah, that's all she sees is
Okay,
the
so
blanket.
it's not like the bed.
No.
Okay.
But she's just like, I own that blanket. That could be my blanket. Nobody knows.
Then it is.
So, yeah, it definitely is. She favorites the video and heads back to work. 9 excruciating hours later, Allie finally gets home after an especially brutal shift. She heads straight to the kitchen for wine and notices the stove clock blinking, like the power had gone out or something. She pours herself a glass of wine, and Fred is unusually clingy, glued to her side. She's grateful she has the next day off. Her 12-hour shifts have been creeping closer to 16 lately. Can you imagine? In a trauma fucking hospital?
No, I'm good. I don't even want to do 8 hours.
Eventually, she retreats to her bedroom, planning some alone time with her vibrator and the Faceless Man's video. But when she looks at her bed, something's wrong. There's something on it.
Is it the mask?
It's the mask.
Oh, lot.
She forces herself out of rising panic and moves to her dresser, grabbing her gun, suddenly aware that someone could be inside her house. She remembers she's prepared. She owns multiple guns and trains hand-to-hand combat with an ex-Marine, like, weekly. Like, this chick is a badass, don't get me wrong. She's hella badass. She makes some bad decisions, but she's fucking trained.
I don't know. I guess where she's working, you can't just put two and two together. You're so tired. But, like, you would think, like, oh, shit, this guy is in my house. Or someone, he's been here.
That's exactly what she thinks. Because, okay, so she's, for one, super turned on by the idea that somebody was in her house. But she, like, gets it in her head, and she starts clearing the house. She grabs her gun, and she fucking clears her house. Or she doesn't clear her house, I think, at first. She clears her bedroom first. But
Fair.
But she's, like, hella turned on by the idea of somebody breaking into her house.
Hey, Mr. Robber, fuck me.
Even as every instinct tells her she should be running, screaming from the house, one thought cuts through her panic. Why was she so freaking turned on by it?
She's a freak.
She a freak. This chapter switches back to Josh's point of view. So Josh is at home watching the live video feed camera he hid in Allie's bedroom. And this is fucking cool. So the video camera he hid looks like the phone charger. Like the part that plugs into the wall.
Yeah.
And the camera is hidden in there. I thought that was pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
He's waiting to see how she reacts to what he did. He finds it incredibly hot watching her move through the room with confidence, clearing her space with a gun like she knows exactly what she's doing. At the same time, he's irritated. She doesn't have a security system. He reminds himself that he already bought one for her earlier, and that thought helps settle his nerves a little. So he was just mad that it was so easy to break in.
That's fair. But, I mean, you got some guns.
I know she at least has two.
That's all you need.
She's got one in her nightstand and one in the bottom dresser drawer.
Oh, yeah?
On the screen, Allie grabs a glass of wine sitting on her dresser. Her hands are shaking as she drowns it. Her fear only turns him on more, but underneath that arousal is real concern. He might have completely destroyed any chance he had with her. After pacing and thinking it over, Allie finally seems to decide fuck it. She grabs her phone and sends him a direct message, straight to the point, asking if he's the one who did this. Josh responds carefully because he doesn't want to get caught. What would you do if I said yes?
Ooh,
Allie replies, that depends. On what, Allie? What your intentions are. Josh answers honestly, but not reassuringly. My intentions? Oh, Allie, why would I tell you what they are when your previous comments have led me to believe that fear is half the fun for you?
Ooh.
Things are getting too spicy for the pepper. On the video feed, Allie kicks Fred out of the bedroom, closing the door behind him. She messages him again, asking the question that really matters. How can I trust you won't hurt me? Josh doesn't lie. You can't, Allie. I'm a stranger on the internet.
Ooh. But he's not. But he is.
But he's not, but he is. Running on instinct alone, he sends her a second part of the video that he filmed earlier, the part that would have got him banned. It's footage of him fully aroused, filmed inside her bedroom.
Hear my wiener.
Josh tells himself to turn the camera off. He argues with himself, knowing he should stop watching, but he doesn't. Not until she's naked on the bed, pushing the vibrator inside of her. That's when he finally shuts it off. So he's warring with himself on, this is bad.
Yeah,
I know this is bad.
pervy.
Like, I'm not my dad.
Yeah.
This is bad. He forces himself away from his desk, disturbed by how deep this is going. The desire hasn't faded, it's grown. And Josh realizes his obsession with Allie is no longer something that he could pretend is harmless. So he's like fully aware of what he's doing.
He's aware of the crazy.
Yeah.
That's fair.
After finishing, literally, Allie changes into pajamas,
Gross.
still shaken by everything that just happened. She lets Fred out of the bathroom and then does a second sweep of the house. So she masturbates before doing a second sweep.
Priorities.
Priorities. Checking rooms again just to be sure she's alone. That's when her phone chimes. She grabs it off the dresser. Sleep tight, Alyssa.
Damn.
Her name is
Yeah,
nowhere.
it was Allie Oxenfree, so.
Her name is nowhere on her social media.
Damn.
It's easily the most fucked up thing that's ever happened to her, and somehow also the hottest.
I was going to say, probably just turned around again. She's ready to go for round 2.
That night, Allie falls asleep clutching a baseball bat with her gun within reach. When morning comes, she's up early drinking coffee and already planning a trip to the gun store to buy cameras and an alarm system. She keeps replaying everything in her head, trying to figure out how he found her, how he got into her house. She realizes it would have taken someone highly skilled, a top-notch hacker. That's when she remembers Tyler's roommate, Josh.
Oh.
She wonders if he could help her.
Ah.
That thought leads into Allie's first real description of Josh, recalling the only time she's ever met him. He was huge, at least 6'4". That's a big bitch.
That is a big dude. I'm a small dude.
A short king.
That is a guy. That is a man.
Even in the baggy gym pants and sweatshirt that morning in the kitchen, there was no hiding the fact that he was absolutely yoked. Like, he was a big fucking dude. She only caught a glimpse of his profile, but it stuck with her. A strong jaw, an aquiline nose, thick, long lashes most women would kill for. That one look was enough to tell her Josh had a heartbreaker-level good looks. And remember, he doesn't go out. But apparently he's a hottie. He doesn't date. He doesn't do nothing.
Yeah. He's just like, well, I mean, again, priorities.
He doesn't want anybody to, like, link him to his dad.
Yeah. He
It's
doesn't want
hard.
to hurt anybody either.
Well, he also doesn't think he's that hot either.
Wow. That's a men's problem. No, it's not just men, but.
She remembers thinking he must have Mediterranean blood, olive skin tone, dark hair like hers, the kind of man her mom would have looked at her once and immediately said something wildly inappropriate about him giving her strong Italian grandchildren.
Damn.
Because remember, Allie's Italian. Allie decides she wants to pay Josh to help her track down the faceless man. If anyone can find him, it would be someone with his skills. She grabs her laptop and starts Googling, trying to find out the right questions to ask and how to approach him without sounding insane. Because how could you imagine going to somebody you've met once in like a brief interaction and be like, hey, so I have this guy that I follow for years and I've thirsted over it, and now he broke into my house and he left a mask.
Yeah, that'd be a little hard to explain to somebody.
So now we're back in Josh's point of view. Josh is watching Allie through the camera on her laptop when she suddenly types a search into the Google. God, am I 90? Whether someone can watch you through a laptop camera. He watches her read the answer. Just as she reaches to cover the webcam, he sends her a message. Don't.
No, I was going to say.
Allie's pissed. Allie's fucking pissed. She fires back a message. See you soon, followed by a wink emoji. Like, she's a little bratty.
But I can still see you.
Well, he can't see her, but he can hear her.
I thought you said there was a camera on...
She covers the web camera.
I thought you said there was a camera on, like, the charger.
Yeah, but that's in her room.
Oh, she's not in her room.
She's not in her room.
No.
I think she's at, like, her dining room table.
Okay.
I didn't mention. So she sends see you soon, followed by a wink emoji, before slapping tape over the webcam anyway. Josh can still hear her through her microphone, though, and he listens as she calls Tyler. She asks him for help. She wants his roommate Josh to help her find someone online. Josh immediately starts spiraling when Tyler agrees. He just, like, blindly is like, yeah, that's fine. Josh is cool. He'll help you.
I hate when people do that.
You get volunteered a lot.
I do. Thanks. I really wanted to do this today.
I totally didn't want to just sit on my couch.
Or do anything else,
Yeah.
literally.
He grabs his things and ends up driving past Allie's house multiple times, unable to sit still, right as his first gift for her arrives. From the camera feed, he watches her open the door to what she later describes as an entire floral shop. She's visibly pissed, begging the delivery men to take the flowers back or give them to somebody else. Eventually, she pays them to deliver everything to the hospital for the nurses instead. And I want to say, it is a lot of fucking flowers. And she's begging these guys to take them back, and they're like, we can't.
Well.
And I don't think I have it in my notes. But she even texts him as like, thanks, your gift just cost me $50. And he sends her $50.
That's great.
Yeah.
I like that. But hey, she
Then,
did something good with him.
yeah, I mean, the nurses probably really appreciated them,
Yeah.
especially in the trauma hospital. Like, they got to see some shit. It goes into some things that they see, but I didn't. It wasn't really important to the plot,
Yeah.
so I didn't put it in. But then the second gift arrives. Home defense, like a whole security system. There's a GPS tracker, like all kinds of shit in there that she could use to protect herself.
Okay. He's still gonna get in.
Mm. Allie messages him repeatedly, getting no response, until Josh starts answering her, responding to the things she's saying in her room rather than typing them. So, like, he's listening and just responding to her talking. That moment unnerves her. Eventually, he sends her a video of him and Fred playing together, which somehow makes everything worse instead of better. Allie finally shuts her laptop off completely. Using a tool that Josh had sent earlier, she eventually finds the hidden camera in her room. Like I said, there was like a hidden camera tracker. Yeah. I think I said GPS, but I meant hidden camera. After that, she logs out of the app entirely, and Josh is left alone with the knowledge that he's pushed things too far again. So he's constantly having this self-doubt of, God, I'm just like my dad. I'm fucking up. I really like this girl, and I'm fucking up.
Just his mental battle.
Yeah. So now we're back in Allie's point of view. She's at work on break, checking the notifications from her new security cameras. She's aware it's Saturday, which means a new video from the faceless man. She tries to resist, but eventually caves, relief washing over her when she sees he's back in his usual filming locations. Nothing unsettling this time. The video caption reads, "When she's mad at you." The comments are flooded with women defending him. Allie adds a comment of her own. Almost immediately, he likes it. Then he follows her. And by the way, this video was like him up against the window, like sad boy, when she's mad at you type shit.
Hell yeah.
And all the comments were like, who hurt you?
Got some Midwest emo in the background.
That's right.
Got some neck deep.
That's exactly how the video sounded. Like,
That's
it was just
not Midwest emo, but
just hella dramatic. It was like their first little, that's not their first little fight, but like,
yeah,
she's upset. And like, again, the women are like, who hurt you? What do we have to do? Kind of shit. Like, if you don't want him, I'll take him.
Jesus.
And she adds her own comment, and almost immediately he likes it. He follows her. He doesn't follow anybody. Her phone explodes with notifications as people swarm her replies. What is he like in real life? Are you dating him? So this is what jealous rage feels like. How does it feel to be the most hated woman on the internet right now? If you don't want him, I'll take him. So yeah, like this man is like very popular on TikTok. And women are feral. Undeniably. Overwhelmed, Allie closes the app and mutes it entirely. She's done with that bullshit. She starts thinking about taking a vacation, about disappearing for a bit. On impulse, she flips off the hospital camera in the break room, just in case he's watching. Her phone chimes. Rude.
That's great.
That's all he says, rude.
I like it.
She just flips it off because she knows he's probably watching. They start messaging back and forth. She calls him out for the public like and follow. He doesn't apologize. He tells her he has no regrets about publicly claiming her.
No regrets.
He said, "This my bitch."
Oh, yeah, he claimed. I didn't even catch that. Claimed her.
Claimed. In front of however many fucking followers he has of feral women.
Yeah.
Allie realizes uneasily that she enjoys the banter more than she wants to admit. Then he says something that stops her dead cold. "Just tell me to stop, Allie, and I will." She manages to type a single S before her pager goes off. She slams her phone into her locker and rushes back to work. So she didn't even get to reply.
Yeah.
She doesn't get out until 20 hours later.
Like that.
There's been a mass shooting at a nightclub. And Allie is completely wrecked. She knows she shouldn't drive in this state. She heads to her car to just grab a few things before calling an Uber and freezes. Her car is running. There's a large man sitting inside of it.
Oh, shit.
It's him.
It's Josh.
It's the faceless man.
I mean, the faceless man.
He's wearing a mask, so she can't see his face. He doesn't speak to her. Instead, her phone buzzes with a DM. He only wants to give her a ride home. Nothing more. Allie is exhausted, furious, and numb. Again, he tells her to tell him to stop. She can't. He tells her to look at the passenger seat. So she goes over. Her gun is there, a knife too, placed deliberately so she can protect herself. She checks the gun, makes sure it's loaded. It is. As she stands there, Allie thoughts crystallize into something terrifyingly honest. Her entire life has been devoted for caring for others. For once, she wants someone to take care of her. She wants to be wanted. No, needed. She wants a man so obsessed he watches her through cameras when he can't sleep. Someone who monitors her location, installs security so no one else can hurt her, and would threaten to kill anyone who tried. She doesn't want morally gray. She wants black as night.
Oh, yeah. That sounds like a man.
Someone who would burn the world down for her and never lose a minute of sleep over it. Allie decides to get into the car.
That's the man we all want.
Honestly. But like for real, he knew she'd be freaked out because there's just a big burly fucking faced masked man in her car. So he gave her the control there.
Yeah.
Which is fucking awesome.
Yeah. Give and take.
Yeah. Okay, so we're back in Josh's point of view. The scene starts with Allie literally holding a gun on Josh while they're in the car. But Josh, being his dark, attentive self, isn't even fazed. He's noticed she hasn't eaten much in the last few days, so he reaches back and hands her some snacks. This man made her like homemade trail mix and stuff. Like it was really sweet.
I want some trail mix.
It's such a weirdly domestic moment for him. Allie's sitting there eating her snacks with one hand while keeping the gun leveled at him with the other. As the drive continues, Allie turns up the heat and Josh strips off his hoodie. When he rolls his sleeves, Allie's brain just short circuits. She completely forgot about the gun in her lap and just stares at his arms. Josh, of course, notices the effect he has on her and starts getting hard right there in the driver's seat. I swear, this man looks at her and he's like, boing. She looks at him and she's like a fucking river. Both of them are just insane for each other.
It's good. Good for them.
Good for them. Then things get a little protective. A man catcalls Allie from another car at a stoplight. Without missing a beat, Josh grabs the skinning knife from the floorboard, hopping out, and gives the guy a friendly wave with his blade. They peel out instantly. When Josh gets back in, Allie noticed his erection is even more prominent now that his adrenaline is pumping.
Just hung.
Yeah. Yeah. From the book description, yeah.
I'm jealous.
But think about that. Like, it's sweet. She gets catcalled and he's like fucking pissed. He's like, I will kill you. And he just acts creepy. It almost reminds me of Smile, the way the scene is described.
Yeah.
How like he gets out and he's just like, he's got the mask on. He cocks his head with a fucking knife and he's like.
Just like the stereotypical like serial killer vibe. I like it. That's what you should do.
She drops off pretense and says, I want to see it. Josh just lifts his shirt up to show off his abs, but Allie is on a mission. Her hand wanders downward, and she starts undoing his button. She actually sets the knife down because she needs both hands to deal with the zipper. Josh is internally chanting to himself, do not come in your pants. Do not come in your pants. Trying his absolute best to keep his eyes on the road and not drive them into a ditch. Allie tries to play it cool, saying, I'm still mad. This isn't for you. Because remember, she's pissed off that he did all that.
Yeah.
Josh,
she's a brat.
Yeah. Josh's internal monologue here is hilarious. He's thinking, okay, but it feels a little bit like it's for me. He's actually touched that she considers this their first official fight, and he wants to mark it on his calendar to celebrate a year from now. He's already decided Allie's going to be his, period. Then Allie goes all in and starts to blow him while driving.
Damn, that went real quick.
Mm-hmm. Josh is struggling to stay focused on the road, trying not to thrust his hips into her mouth and lose control. In the middle of the heat, Allie accidentally stabs him in the hand with the knife she set aside.
Oops.
Legit, like, fucking stabs him.
Yeah, that's not how you accidentally do that.
She, like, kind of had it in her lap, sort of, and when she's leaned up, like, it was an accident. She doesn't even notice. But in true faceless man fashion, the pain doesn't stop him. If anything, it adds to the intensity. He finishes hard in her mouth, completely wrecked by her, even while they're supposed to be at odds. This scene was, like, hot, too.
I mean, that's an easy way to get over things.
Does getting blown You think feel better than getting stabbed in the hand?
You know, we gotta look at the facts. But, I would probably say yeah.
So if you got stabbed in the hand while getting blown, you'd just be like, ugh.
Like, whatever. I'll deal with that later. That's a later problem. I got more important things going on.
So now we're back in Allie's point of view. Allie is stitching up Josh's hand at her kitchen table. 5 stitches. She fucking stabbed him. Like, legit.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
And Fred is curled up in his lap, purring. Which Fred, by the way, only likes Allie.
I don't like Fred.
You're gonna.
I don't like Fred.
Fred is my little bestie now.
No.
After reading this book.
Fuck Fred. Hashtag fuck Fred.
It's funny because I don't think I have it in my notes either, but all through the book, Josh is like, "That's my son. How dare you?" Like the whole book, like from the moment he meets Fred, he's like, "Hello, son." Instantly claiming both of them.
Disclaimer. I don't hate cats. I hate cat hair. Okay?
He's a very clean guy.
We have cats. We have 2 cats. And they're okay. I like them. But I hate the cat hair. We buy lint rollers on subscription.
Hey, Fred is black and white. Most of it would be black. It'd blend in.
No, it's the white that shows up everywhere.
Yeah, it does. And we have a white dog, so that doesn't help.
No, not at all. Anyway, back to book.
All right, so she's stitching up his hand. Fred is curled up in his lap, purring. She offers him some food, but Josh texts her instead, telling her she should shower and change. Because remember, he doesn't want her to hear his voice.
Yeah.
Because technically they've met, yeah.
Maybe.
She keeps apologizing, convinced that she ruined everything after stabbing him earlier. Josh pulls her close for a moment, but when she offers to make it up to him, wink wink, he steps back and silently gestures for her to go to sleep. Like he does like the hands under the head, like
How long's it been?
Since she stabbed or since she slept?
No, since she just blew him.
Oh, like 10 minutes.
Like, that guy's not a yogurt dispenser. Yeah, give him
true.
some time. Let him eat something.
It's not a yogurt dispenser.
Get some protein in there. I don't know.
So as he leaves, he pats Fred on the head, goes to the front door, and leaves. None of them want him to go, but the moment passes quietly. Allie wakes up 12 hours later, which again, remember, I don't even know how.
You said 20 hours.
Yeah.
Or no.
Yeah, 20 hours.
20 hours later.
20-hour shift,
No,
I think. But she at least has not slept in 20 hours, at least.
Yeah, fuck that.
And she's been working, like fucking gunshot wounds and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
She wakes up 12 hours later, groggy and reluctant to get out of bed. But work calls in a few hours. Like, she knows she's got to go to work. She grabs her phone immediately and sends an email requesting 2 weeks off. She gets up to make coffee and prepares Fred's breakfast, reminding herself that she finally take down her Christmas decorations on her next day off. When she does open the fridge for creamer, she notices extra takeout containers. She didn't put those there. Inside are pancakes, her usual order from the bakery down the street every Sunday. Confused, she checks her security app and notices there's a time jump. Someone had access to the cameras while bringing in the food. Curious, she steps outside to check, but sees snow everywhere. That's when she realizes he dug her car out, as well as clearing a path all the way up to the front door and the driveway.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I wish I had somebody do that recently.
I know. We've been in a fucking blizzard, it seems like.
That's Snowmageddon.
We were stuck in the house for like 4 days.
Nah. We got out.
Barely. I was terrified. Her neighbor notices and comes over, commenting on how lucky she is to have a handsome man to do all that. The neighbor adds that he didn't say much, only that they'd been in a little tiff and he was trying to get back on her good side. Remember, they just had their first fight.
Yeah.
Allie promises to have dinner with them soon. She goes inside and immediately DMs Josh, lightly chastising him, and he responds that he likes taking care of her.
Oh.
Later, Tyler texts saying that's okay if Allie stops by his place before work. He won't be home, but his roommate Josh is cool. He even sends her his number, which she saves. So we're back in Josh's point of view. Josh is at home, waiting for Allie to arrive. Tyler checks in first, making sure Josh is okay with her coming over. Tyler has a date and will be late, but he gives Josh his full support. Even jokes that he'd lay out roses if it meant Josh would get lucky. Tyler leaves, and Josh begins putting his plans into motion. He lowers the thermostat because he's hiding his tattoos with fingerless gloves, so he wants to make it seem like it's cold, I guess. So he lowers the thermostat and hides it by putting a picture over it. He puts gloves and a hoodie on and locks his bedroom door because he doesn't want her going stupid and finding like his surveillance room, basically.
Yeah.
When Allie finally arrives and knocks, he opens the door. She can't help but check him out briefly, and Josh feels a twinge of jealousy over his own presence. Like he's jealous that she's attracted to him.
To another guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
It's a mix of pride and insecurity, I guess.
yeah.
When they shake hands, Allie grips a little harder than necessary, as if testing whether he's the man behind the faceless man persona. Because she kind of is like,
Is this possible?
the vibes seem, body seems, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Josh suppresses a small pain sound that threatens to escape, but he distracts her, asks if she wants coffee. He then brings her some, trying to ease the tension. Allie gives a vague explanation of what's been happening with the faceless man. Again, that's a weird fucking thing to tell somebody.
Yeah, it is.
So she tries to be as vague as possible. Josh agrees to help her, but it makes it clear if she ever feels unsafe, she needs to go to the cops. Like, this man is a consent king and is like, if you ever feel unsafe, go to the cops. Tell me to stop, Allie. I will. Kind of shit. He gets to work explaining everything it will take to track him down. Allie grows frustrated. He can't give her the answers immediately, and she has to leave soon. She's got to go to work. Josh keeps the conversation light when he can make small talk about nursing. It brings up her mother, but Allie isn't ready to talk about it yet. He offers more coffee, and while he's gone, she sends a DM to the faceless man. Allie watches Josh's phone next to his laptop, but he's clever. He set his burner phone to send automatic replies, like vague, realistic kind of banter replies.
Yeah, that's fair. That's smart.
It's fucking genius. His real phone remains idle, leaving him in control. She sends another DM, getting another auto response. So she's like, is it him? Is it not him? That would, like, she has the thought of, well, maybe he set it to reply automatically.
Yeah.
But she doesn't fully know at this point. But she has an idea. She thinks it is Josh.
Yeah, I'm not that smart. I would have just, like, turned off notifications.
Yeah.
And then she wouldn't have got a reply, or it'd be like, who you text? But my mom. And then you get a text like, that doesn't work.
While Allie watches, Josh talks vaguely about being a programmer and why he got into it. He admits it's partly because he wanted to avoid being tracked by his father after moving with his mom. He doesn't go into detail. He only says that his dad wasn't a good man back then.
Yeah.
To break the tension, they start playing Would You Rather. Okay, and I have to read you one of these. I don't have them in my notes, but I pulled them up because I remember them being so fucking funny, and I want an answer to one of these.
Oh, Lord.
I'm just going to read you one of them.
I tell you, Would You Rather is not a game that I like to play, especially with my mother. Don't ever do that.
That was hilarious.
That was traumatic, is what it was.
It was the best. I wish I could go back on repeat. But the question Allie asks is, would you rather change gender every time you sneezed or not know the difference between a baby and a muffin? That's one of them.
Is that the one you want to answer to?
I want two answers, I guess.
Okay. I would rather, except for the other day when I was sneezing a lot, I would rather sneeze and change genders. I would look at myself naked.
Imagine not knowing the difference between a baby and a muffin.
You would just eat the baby.
You would eat the baby.
Eat the baby.
The next one is, would you rather ejaculate one tadpole-sized sperm or a million sperm that can talk? A tadpole's like a decent size,
Yeah, it's like a kidney stone.
if not bigger. Well, maybe not
No.
your kidney stones. You have large kidney stones. You got something.
Let's not talk about my kidney
You
stones.
got something wrong in there.
With my past experience, I would rather just the tadpole, because otherwise you're like, you got like a million people like, don't wipe me up.
Yeah, but they're little sperms that can talk. What do you think they'd say?
Don't wipe me up. What am I doing in here? This isn't where I'm supposed to be.
This is
There's
weird.
no egg here.
Where are they?
Is that a uvula?
Uvula. Both of them enjoy it, laugh and sharing small pieces of themselves while the day slips by. Later, Josh waits for Allie to get off work, planning a surprise for her when she gets home. Excited, he falls asleep, but his home cameras detect her arrival. He grabs all of his supplies and runs out the door, ready for whatever comes next. So he was at home just waiting for her to get home, and he was gonna surprise her, but he's late. She beat him there, and that wasn't part of the plan. So now we're in Allie's point of view again. This is a dual POV. I think I forgot to mention that. But it's obviously a dual POV. We keep switching back and forth. So now we're back in Allie's point of view, with a gut feeling finally solidifying. Josh is the faceless man. She just feels it. It's in her gut. She's so sure of it that she's already playing detective, having bought a GPS tracker to slip on him to see if he leads her back to Tyler's place. She gets home from a brutal shift, and when she doesn't find him lurking in her closet or shower, the disappointment hits her hard. She doesn't just want him there, she wants to provoke him.
Damn.
So she's pissed that he's not there.
Yeah, she crazy too.
She crazy too. She decides to give him a show he can't ignore. She plugs the hidden camera back in, drops her towel, and stands there naked for the lens. Her phone buzzes immediately. He's watching. When he asks what she doing, what you doing? When he asks what she's doing,
What you doing?
what you doing? She gives him a
naked.
bratty response. Keep watching and find out.
Of course she does.
She gets on the bed with her largest vibrator, determined to make him lose his mind while he watches from afar. Just as she's about to hit her peak, the power cuts off. Bang! The darkness is terrifying until she hears Fred, her cat, greeting the intruder. Since Fred only likes her and the faceless man, she knows he's here. He's stalking into the room, his voice deep and modulated. He tells the cat that Mommy and Daddy need alone time. This man cracks me up, calling this cat son and saying he's daddy. It gets even worse later on. It's so funny. The power dynamic shifts instantly. He pins her by the throat, turns her toy back on, and sets the ground rules. No safe words. If she wants him to stop, all she has to say is no or stop.
Is he talking?
It's modulated. I think he
yeah.
taped a modulator on the inside of his mask.
Okay.
And like, it sucks
like
because
Ghostface.
after all of this, he's like, I don't think I can do this again. It's really hot and sweaty, and I'm gonna break out in hives, like, or not hives, but pimples. So it's just funny. But he's got the modulator on. No safe words. If she wants him to stop, all she has to say is no or stop. But otherwise, she's his. He mocks her attempt to punish him for being late and reminds her that she was the one who stabbed him. Though Allie rightfully points out that he liked it, because obviously he finished.
Well, you know.
So she's being a little bratty. She's like, well, you liked it, so... Things immediately get heated when he pulls the vibrator out and replaces it with his fingers. But not the way she expects. He uses lube on her chest, commanding her to push her breasts together for a necklace. It's a callback to one of her comments that she left on his video. She wanted a pearl necklace.
We're going to make a pearl necklace.
He holds her by the hair, forcing her to stay still as he finishes on her chest, claiming her as his. When Allie asks if it's her turn to get off, he gives her that pure evil laugh that tells her only good girls get fucked. Damn. He edges her to the point of tears. Like, she says it's only been like 10 minutes, she thinks, but it feels like hours. He brings her to the brink and then stops. Brings her to the brink and then stops. He's making her wait and squirm until she's practically begging. Finally, he shoves the toy back inside her, grips her throat, and orders her to let go. The climax is so intense, she describes it as her brain short-circuiting. Like she died and the devil himself told her he was proud of them. She passes out from the sheer sensory overload, and when she wakes up, the scary, faceless man has vanished, replaced by someone tenderly cleaning her up with a warm towel and whispering that she was a good girl. That scene was hot.
I mean, you know, I got a breakdown of it, and that, you know, you women in your books, I'm just going to say, they're pretty graphic.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
I could have been much more graphic.
I'm sure. I'm just saying. Like, I didn't know for a while that this is what you are reading.
What'd you just think, that I was reading the Bible?
No.
When I was over here, like, sweating, fucking
No.
fanning myself, reading books? What'd you think I was doing? Okay, so now that Allie's finished and everything, she was a good girl. We're back in Josh's point of view.
Good girl.
You're gonna be a good girl. Sit on this dick.
Take it. Take that. No.
That's basically what Josh is doing. Josh is in the kitchen making bacon and eggs, sharing a piece with Fred. His phone is propped up watching Allie's bedroom via hidden camera. He is literally in the next room watching her still. He can't get enough of her. Why don't you ever watch me on camera?
You don't know.
I do, though.
You don't know shit.
You're not obsessed with me, and it's fine. But,
Oh, wow.
it's fine.
Okay.
It's fine. He sees her exit the bathroom after her second shower of the night. Because remember, she came home, took a shower,
Yeah.
and then had a pearl necklace. So now she's showering again. And notices her carefully placing a tracking device in his backpack. Ooh. She thinks she's being sneaky. Because she's like, in the book, she literally says, like, why would he be watching me? He's in the next room.
Yeah.
But Josh is like,
He's watching.
I can't keep my eyes off her. Allie then drops her towel, standing naked in the bedroom. Josh is momentarily distracted, but stays composed. He quickly delivers her breakfast and praises her. Allie admits she's unsure whether she never wants him to do that again or if she wants it again right now. The edging.
Yeah.
So she's still unsure if she likes it or not, but like, kinda. Do it
I'm
again.
not gonna stop. I'll try anything once or twice.
Josh steps back to the kitchen to finish breakfast and brew tea. Fred steals a piece of bacon, and Josh throws it away to prevent any digestive issues. Like, he's worried about this cat, because I think Fred's stolen, like, a couple pieces of bacon by now. He's like, that amount of fat cannot be good for kitty liver. He loves his son. As he returns to the bedroom, Josh realizes something important. It feels wrong to take things further sexually before Allie knows who he is and understands his past, especially his father. He's never revealed this part of his life to any romantic partner before. So he's been pretty... Like I said, he's really reclused and just doesn't want anybody to know. He prepares to leave, but Allie grabs his hand and checks on his stitches. Everything looks good, and she finally lets him go. He leaves with a mix of longing and care, wanting to take care of her and Fred. Even after he's gone, Josh watches her through the camera. She's already on her laptop tracking him. He admits to himself that he's caught feelings for her, something he didn't expect. While driving a few blocks away, Josh goes up and down the blocks, and he spells out LOL because she's watching.
That's funny.
She's really mad. He drops the tracker outside of his window. Allie is furious when she discovers it. She announces to the camera that she knows the faceless man is Josh, claiming she'll use DNA from his sweatshirt tonight. She, grabbed hairs from it to confirm it against the bloody bandages from when she stabbed him. So she saved those and put them in the freezer. Josh smiles to himself. He knows he took the sweatshirt from Tyler's laundry, so it won't match, leaving her none the wiser.
That's great.
That's thinking 10 steps ahead.
Yeah,
I would not think about that.
I wouldn't either.
So now we're back in Allie's point of view. Allie calls in a favor to have the DNA run at the hospital. The results will take a week. As she's leaving, her phone buzzes with a message from Josh. He asks jokingly how mad she is about the tracker, rating it from 1, needing a couple of days to cool off, to 10, where they need to start draft a joint custody agreement for Fred.
Jesus.
The message makes her smile despite herself. She tells him that she's about a 3, not furious, but needing time to regroup and figure out her next move. She admits, at least internally, that this pause isn't just about safety. It's also about processing her feelings for him, which are more complicated than she wants to admit. So they're both catching feelings at this point.
Yeah.
Josh apologizes for the tracker and edging her. Allie tells him he doesn't need to apologize and that he didn't go too far. She's just trying to protect herself. He promises he would never hurt her. Allie pushes back gently but honestly. She's been watching him longer than he's been watching her, and that scares her. She worries this might just be a kink fulfillment for him. Josh shuts that down immediately. It's not. He tells her to watch his next video, take the time she needs, but only a few days. After that, he's coming for her whether she's ready or not.
Damn.
Until then, he'll be watching. So he's like, fine, you cool off. In a couple days.
But I'm still going to be watching you.
I'm going to come for you. You better be ready. I don't care if you are or not, I'm here. The message leaves her instantly turned on. Too flustered to respond, she locks her phone away and tries to focus on work. Later, she watches the video. It's a thirst trap, but unmistakably reenacting their time together. It feels something dark and electric in her. She wants to push him, wear him down, make him snap and come for her, like he promised. So she's like, I see your game and I'll play it 3 times. I don't care.
This is very like a try to be dominant and dominant situation is what it seems like so far.
Josh is so silly, but he gets... the way it describes is like even his eyes change when he's in his dominant mode.
Mm.
So it's like he's so silly and then boom.
Serial killer fucking
hits. Yeah. And you'll learn more soon.
Yeah.
But yeah. And she's just kind of bratty and she likes to be in control, but she also wants that control taken.
I think, in reality, I feel like that's most people.
Yeah. I feel like this is honestly a very realistic book.
Yeah.
Except...
I mean, there's like some...
Yeah.
Most people aren't going to be fucking hacking you and
yeah.
like
and
watching you.
A lot of women probably won't be like, oh, well, this turns me on, so I'm going to just go with it. And, like, she does, again, she, like, clears her house with the guns. She's very careful.
And he's very consent forward.
But she even acknowledges in the book that she is around bad people every day, working in the trauma hospital.
Yeah.
And she can tell by looking into somebody's eyes, she gets that gut feeling of this is a bad person. And she does not feel that with Josh. So she's like, she's warring with herself the whole time. This is safe. This isn't safe. He's warring with himself. This is okay. This is not okay type thing.
Defense.
Yeah. So later she watches the video. It's a thirst trap, but unmistakably reenacting their time together. It feels something dark and electric in her. She wants to push him, wear him down, make him snap and come for her. Several days later at work, Allie notices a patient who feels familiar in the worst way. The nurse tells her he's the rapist from a previous shift, the one who was never arrested. He's back because the victim's brother tracked him down and beat him bloody. None of the nurses want to treat him, and there are no available male nurses. Guess who
fucked up.
It is. But guess who volunteers to go help him to get him out of the hospital? Allie.
Yeah.
They try to talk her out of it, but she doesn't budge. As she heads towards the room, the phone rings at the nurse's station. It's Josh trying to stop her. He was watching her from the cameras. She tells the nurse she's fine and walks away anyway. Immediately she knows this man is a predator. Everything about him feels wrong. When he asks her name, she gives him a generic last name and tells him she doesn't have a first name. As she checks his vitals, she sees his full name on the computer, the same last name on a large skyscraper downtown. Wealth, influence, that's how he evaded arrest after being caught raping a woman. So, like...
Topical.
Family loaded type shit. He comments that she looks uncomfortable, saying the other night was a misunderstanding. Allie doesn't respond. She's trying to, like, keep it cool the whole time. She examines the head wound before an x-ray, and he keeps talking, pushing, testing her boundaries. When he says the victim should have been grateful for his attention, Allie nearly loses it.
It's fucked up. That's, nurses, the hospital workers have to help everybody, and it sucks sometimes.
Yeah. She doesn't want to. Like, she legitimately is so pissed off at this man just being there.
Yeah.
Because she remembers him from a previous shift. And, like, it doesn't mention a lot about that night, but she knows that he just got to leave because of his lawyer. Then he reaches for her. She sidesteps him immediately and warns him not to touch her again unless he wants to see how well he handles himself against a fully conscious woman. Because the woman that he raped was drugged.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah.
That's great.
Allie is badass. You gotta remember,
she's a big chick too.
Yeah, she's fucking buff. Like, she don't care. He screams for help, claiming Allie threatened him. So he immediately was like, help me, nurses, help me.
Sounds about right. Sounds like a, fucking college frat boy.
He's a little rich kid getting away with all kinds of shit. So staff rush in. Someone shuts him down immediately, clearly recognizing the pattern. They're like, shut up. You're fine. He demands a lawyer, but insists on a different nurse, a specific nurse who fits his profile. So, like, he wants Allie to go, but he's like, no, I want that one. Yeah. Allie says, nope. And she immediately grabs that nurse and she fucking leaves. She gets her out of that situation because she looks a lot like his previous victim.
Yeah, fuck that.
She lets the others deal with him. Later, HR pulls her aside to give her statement. An hour after that, he's released. So he got discharged from the hospital.
Okay.
Back on the ER floor, Allie is called to assist with incoming ambulances. These cases are always hard for her because of her past, but tonight breaks her. The victim is a woman in her mid-50s with dark hair and olive skin, just like her mother. She's been impaled in a crash, this time by a thin piece of metal lodged in her shoulder. The woman will survive. Her mother did not. And I didn't put this in my notes because it was incredibly sad, and I didn't want to cry. But basically, her mom was teaching her how to drive, and Allie mistook the gas pedal for a brake or something, and it like sent her into the road. And then somebody did something, and then her mom got impaled like through the chest with a piece of metal from a truck.
Damn.
And Allie watched her mom die.
It's like
It was
Final Destination type
it was
shit.
fucking brutal. No matter how much Allie tells herself it isn't her mom, all she can see is her in the passenger seat, blood pouring from her mouth, trying to speak. Allie backs away from the gurney. She can't do this. She can't. She's 16 again, helpless, covered in her mother's blood, hands uselessly pressing against a wound she couldn't stop. The broken car horn blaring while she screamed for anyone to help. That chapter is fucking dark.
Yeah. That's, I can't imagine.
But that's why she got into nursing, is because she couldn't save her mom.
Yeah.
So, like, that's why she's at the hospital for 16 fucking hours, 20 hours. Is she's just giving herself away because she feels guilty.
Yeah, I get that.
So now we're going back to Josh's point of view. Josh is watching Allie through her camera and can tell something's very wrong. Her face and body language screams exhaustion, trauma, and worry. He thinks it's the rapists that's bothering her. Yeah. So he opens a new browser to research Bradley. He comes to a grim conclusion.
Bradley is the name of a rapist. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm sorry any good Bradleys listening, but yeah.
That's like the frat boy give you roofies.
But to be fair, so was like the name Josh.
Yeah, that's why I said, like, before I even knew about Josh, I was like, fucking Josh. Like, that's such a fucking white boy name. I don't know.
It is.
Like, white fucking privileged trust fund.
Yeah.
I can get away with anything.
That's
name.
a Bradley.
Yeah.
Apparently.
It is. Sorry.
The rapist Allie had treated earlier, and comes to a grim conclusion. This man is dangerous and needs to be stopped. He looks back at Allie, who appears hollow and drained, and texts her, "Please don't drive home like this. Let me come get you or at least take an Uber." She checks her phone, quietly replying, "I'm taking an Uber." She's so tired. Josh doesn't wait. He dons a balaclava, grabs his supplies, and heads to her place. Once inside, he immediately is greeted by Fred, who runs up yowling. I love that word, yowling. Josh scoops him up, realizing he forgot his voice modulator, but improvises using a deep voice imitating Batman.
So he's just like, "Hey, this is my cat, Fred. This is my son.
This is my son.
Where are they? Give me some coffee."
Allie's in the shower. Josh quietly prepares tea and a glass of wine, unsure of what she truly needs. When the shower ends, he brings them to her, but she's startled and throws a brush in his direction, spilling the tea and scalding his hands. So, like, she just chucks a fucking brush at him, and he dodges it but spills the tea all over his hand, like this boiling tea.
Is it the same hand that got stabbed?
No, it's the other one.
Oh, fuck.
So now both of his hands are fucked.
That's fucked up. Can't even jerk off.
Their interaction is tense, playful, and charged. Allie teasing him, Josh careful, but both testing boundaries. They share a quiet moment of recognition. Allie whispers, "You're here." Josh wraps her in a hug, and she melts into his arms. He lifts her, holding her close, grounding her. That's such a sweet moment. After that fucking terrible shift.
Yeah, he's holding her. He's like, "I got you."
And she's like, "You're here."
"Yeah, I'm here. But where are they?"
She tells him what happened with her past, the ambulance incident, and the memories of her mother's death. Josh listens, holds her tight, apologizing, comforting, and allowing her to release the weight of the trauma. He reassures her that the next 2 weeks off will give them time to recover, and she learns he took a vacation as well, because somehow he knows that she took a vacation. The news brings a small smile to her face. They discuss Bradley. Allie explains how dangerous he is and admits she felt the urge to kill him. Josh apologizes again for the stress she endured. He doesn't reveal that he also harbored dark thoughts. He knows it would feel too close to his father.
Oh shit. So now I get it. Now I get it. I think.
You think you know what's going to happen?
They're gonna kill somebody. They're gonna kill Bradley, the piece of shit.
I don't want to think anymore, she whispers, grinding against him. Use me. Don't hold back. The protective instinct snapped into something much darker. He stands up, carrying her to the bedroom and dropping her onto the mattress. He leaves her there for a second to grab his backpack. When he steps back into the room, knife in hand, he slams the door shut, like hard, plunging them into near darkness. He felt her breath hitch, the fear of returning, but this time it was laced with heat. He drives the blade deep into the corner of her mattress with a heavy thud. Come here, he commands, his voice a low growl in the dark. I want to watch you ride it.
The knife?
The knife?
Damn. That doesn't sound very sanitary.
You just wait. So now we're back in Allie's point of view. Allie is actually terrified for a second when he slams the knife into the bed. She thinks she's dead. But then her brain switches to, oh no, my mattress. It was expensive.
That's fair.
And Josh just casually brushes it off. He tells her a new one is coming tomorrow anyway, because her bed was too small for him. So he upgraded her to a California king with all the same bedding and the bed frame and everything.
Damn.
So he had already planned that shit. That's the moment it clicks for Allie. She starts tallying it up. He called her cat his son. He bought a bed big enough for both of them. He showed up when she was spiraling. He held her while she sobbed, and he never once judged her. She decides right then and there to stop fighting it and actually believe he has feelings for her.
She's his.
She lets her robe drop, but she's still eyeing the knife. Josh catches her looking and says something incredibly intense. If you think I would ever let something happen to that perfect pussy, you're not paying attention. He disinfects the handle right in front of her and tells her to get over there because he's losing his patience.
Oh, he's concerned about germs. That's nice.
She's a nurse. He knows. He knows she knows. He knows she knows he knows she knows.
You don't want to get an infection in the perfect pussy.
The perfect pussy.
That's not good.
Allie
wouldn't be prudent.
Allie goes to him totally vulnerable. She admits she wants to kiss him, but Josh has a different plan. He puts a sleep mask on her and handcuffs her behind her back. She admits she's scared, but that she likes it. He starts worshiping her body, but when she tries to feel for his erection, he moves away. He makes it clear this is all about her. He tells her he wants to kiss her too, but not on your mouth. He drops to his knees, and Allie realizes he's taken off his balaclava because she can feel his breath on her skin. He starts to eat her out, and it's so intense she actually thinks to herself that if he moves his lips, she might need that knife handle to just stay sane. He starts using his fingers, hooking them in that come here motion until her knees literally wobble.
Come hither.
He picks her up and brings her to the edge of the bed, holding the knife handle as a barrier, and tells her, this pussy belongs to me now, Allie, and I protect what's mine. She sits back into the cold handle. In the heat of the moment, Josh loses his cool. He forgets to use his deep modulated Batman voice and growls, "You're a fucking goddess, Allie." She recognizes his voice instantly. It's Josh.
Damn.
Instead of being upset, the realization makes her feel even more powerful. She starts riding the handle, and Josh is right there, sucking on her neck and flicking his tongue over her nipple, while the other hand works its way behind her. He starts praising her. Good girl. Look how well you're doing. Allie realizes she has a major praise king. She's right on the edge when Josh groans that he wants to be inside her, but he tells her he wants to watch her come on the knife first. She agrees, and as she's hitting this massive peak, she accidentally says out loud that if he breaks her heart, she's screwed because he's permanently changed her. Josh replies, I would never hurt you, Allie, and then she just explodes. It's such an intense orgasm that her ears start ringing and stars are dancing behind the mask.
Damn.
But then the emotional dam breaks. She's sobbing. Josh immediately panics, thinking that he hurt her.
No.
Because she's just like, oh, yeah. And then, like, fucking full on sobbing. He fumbles for the keys to the handcuffs, unlocks her, and just holds her tight.
I'm sorry. All right.
She has to reassure him that he didn't do anything wrong. It's just that one release triggered another, and all the trauma from the night finally came out. He talks her through it, and she realizes he's genuinely worried he ruined everything. She tells him he could never, and Josh admits that seeing her like that was beautiful, and he actually came in his pants. Like, he leans back, and he's like, look, I got a wet spot.
So is he talking in the Batman voice too?
No.
So
Well, I think it's kind of on and off. It doesn't explicitly say if he goes back to his Batman voice, but I know when he tells her she's a goddess, he drops it.
yeah.
And she's like,
if back is just like, what did you? I'm so sorry.
I hope so, honestly. They eventually get cleaned up. Allie asks him to stay, and he happily agrees. She's like, are you going to stay? He's like, if you want me to. And she's like, please stay.
It's like fucking Peaky Blinders, who we've been watching, season 2. He's like, I got a guest room, a guest wing. You could stay if you want to. It's not uncommon for people to stay. It's like that.
Yep. It ends on this domestic, almost funny note. Allie's in her comfy pajamas, and Josh is wearing a pair of her sweatpants that look like capris on his massive frame.
Hell yeah.
Fred starts screaming at the door, and Josh actually starts arguing back and forth with the cat before scooping him up. Josh offers to make her bacon and eggs, but after the raw bacon and runny eggs the other morning, Allie wishes he wouldn't cook for her again.
Damn.
So, the bacon was, raw in the middle.
Hell yeah. That's how I like my bacon.
You do, all of your meat, really, mostly. Yeah. Any red meat, you're, raw as fuck.
I want to know it's meat.
Yeah.
And eggs runny, yeah.
We're in Josh's point of view again. Josh wakes to the sound of an alarm and immediately panics. He can't see anything. He's half asleep, terrified. He's convinced he's gone blind from sleeping in his blue contacts, because he was wearing blue contacts to, hide his eye color.
Yeah.
He lets out a weak, dramatic, help me, in a very unconvincing Batman voice. Can you try to do that one for me?
Help me.
Only for Allie to tell him his balaclava twisted sideways. So he's like, I'm blind, help me. And she's like, your mask is sideways, my guy.
That's funny. She should be like, yeah, your mask is sideways, Josh.
Relief lasts exactly 1 second because he realizes what the alarm actually is. Allie's back door security camera. He pulls up the live feed and sees the camera is blocked. Josh is instantly on his feet. He asks where the nearest gun is. Allie tells him bottom drawer. He grabs it and orders her to stay in the bedroom and lock the door.
Is it Bradley?
Before leaving, he lifts his mask just enough to kiss her, grounding himself and her. Then he tells her to grab her own gun from the nightstand, making her promise to stay in the bedroom again. At the back door, Josh hears someone actively picking the lock. He makes a calculated choice and quietly unlocks the deadbolt, speeding up the process. So they're trying to break into the bottom lock. And he's just like, well, they're going to take forever to getting the actual deadbolt. I'll just speed it up.
I'll help you out.
Yeah. The door clicks.
It's nice of him. He's helping everybody out.
The door clicks, then slams open. Josh strikes first. One punch to the face drops the intruder instantly. Allie gasps behind him and tells him to remove the mask of the stranger.
And it's Bradley.
So she left the room after promising
she what a piece of shit. I didn't even catch that.
It's Bradley Blum, the rapist from the hospital.
Oh, I figured.
Josh hears the click of Allie's gun and has to urgently talk her down before she shoots him on the spot. He's the fucking rational one here. The man that broke into her home, made her sit on a knife, is like, no, we can't kill somebody. It's fucked up.
Be like my dad.
He asks for gloves and goes through Bradley's backpack, searching for a phone to trace his movements, but there's no phone. But there is a full murder and cleanup kit.
Damn.
Yeah, that's when Allie snaps. She kicks Bradley hard enough for his legs to lift off the floor, follows it with a brutal hit to his ribs, and then punches him in the face. Hard as... Again, she's a buff chick.
Yeah, muscle mommy.
She realizes fully and horrifyingly that he didn't come to just scare her. He came to rape and kill her. That's terrifying.
It really is.
Luckily, she has another intruder in the house. You never think you would say that. Brad needs to die, Allie says. Josh agrees, but tells her they can't be the ones to do it. They restrain Bradley using his own rope. They gag and tape his mouth shut, and Josh pulls out his laptop to learn everything he can about Bradley. Bradley's phone is still at his house, and he disabled his vehicle tracking. Josh suggests Allie stay behind while he finishes this alone, but she refuses. It's together or not at all. So she's a ride or die.
Hell yeah.
20 minutes later, they dressed in real clothes. Coffee is being made to go. Josh uses Bradley's own chloroform to knock him out, tapes over the gag, and stuffs him into Allie's snowboarding bag. Josh causes a brief, localized blackout, and together they load Bradley into the trunk of Josh's car.
So I've lost count, but I'm still stuck on the fact that you just said coffee again. Is this book sponsored by fucking Folgers?
I'm telling you, coffee is brought up and offered so many times in this book. It revolves around coffee, which I guess is fair for Allie.
I guess.
But it's not just Allie.
Yeah.
It's everyone.
Everyone's making coffee, offering coffee. You want some coffee? Specifically, you want Folgers Black Silk found at your
not sponsored.
nearest convenience store. Yeah.
This book honestly should be sponsored by a coffee. For real. As they drive, Allie hands Josh his coffee, exactly how he likes it. Josh reflects darkly on the moment. The woman was down for kinky sex, knew how I liked my coffee, and was more than happy to aid in the destruction of a rapist. What had I done to get so lucky?
So I wonder, every day.
Aww.
This is like almost biography.
Yeah. You like your wife. Aww.
Can't prove it.
The drive is mostly silent. When they do talk, Josh tells Allie about Bradley's previous victim and her family, where they live, who they are. He doesn't bother changing his voice anymore. After everything, it feels pointless and kind of silly.
She probably knows, or he knows that she knows.
Yeah.
Probably.
He'd already slipped up so many times.
Yeah.
And his I think he even says, like, the Batman voice was making his throat sore.
He's like,
after a
"Fuck it,
while.
I don't give a fuck anymore."
Eventually, Josh cuts the headlights and turns down a dirt road. He knows the family doesn't have cameras. They stop at the house when Josh opens the trunk and partially unzips the bag. Allie immediately notices something's wrong. His lips are blue, everything. She checks his pulse. Bradley's dead.
Well,
they killed Bradley.
Good. One less rapist. It's the only cure.
Fair. Josh realizes what happened. Bradley suffocated when Josh taped over both his mouth and nose, so when he just slapped the tape on over the gag, it actually covered his nose too. The weight of it hits him all at once. He stumbles away, rips off his balaclava, and vomits violently into the bushes. Allie, standing nearby, breaks the tension with grim humor. This is probably a bad time to gloat about the fact that I was right about your identity, isn't it? Josh ends up laughing and throwing up at the same time. The sound cracked and unhinged. That sounds miserable. Laughing while you're throwing up. And again, like, childhood trauma.
Sorry, everybody's got that, like, one thing that, like, when you hear somebody
gag, it makes them gag.
That's a little rough. I'm sorry. I apologize.
But now, like, he feels just like his dad. He's a murderer. It made him throw. Like, that thought made him throw up.
It doesn't count. I mean, it does, but it doesn't. He's a rapist.
That's fair. So now we're back in Allie's point of view. Okay, so they're driving with a dead body in the trunk.
Hell yeah.
And the wildest part, Allie's the one driving, and she's really calm about it. Not calm in a this is fine way, but in that disassociated shock brain kind of way. She's noticing stupid, normal details. The road, the car, Josh sitting next to her trying not to fall apart. And she keeps thinking how unreal this all feels. Josh, meanwhile, is completely spiraling hard. He killed someone, even though it was self-defense, even though Brad was dangerous, even though Brad broke in and would have hurt them. Josh is stuck on one thing. I killed a man. Allie becomes the grounding force here, which is such a shift from earlier in the book. She tells him very plainly that this wasn't murder. This was survival. She separates the law from morality in a way that feels unsettlingly logical. Basically, legally, yeah, this is bad. Morally, Brad doesn't get to hurt anyone ever again.
Yeah.
And the scariest part, Allie realizes she agrees with that fully. Like, she is not bothered by the fact that she just aided in the murder of this man. She has this internal moment where she checks in with herself, expecting guilt or horror to hit, and it doesn't. Instead, there's dark acceptance. She's okay with what happened, and she knows that realization says something about her, but she doesn't shy away from it. She asks Josh if he dug into her family, and he says no, he stopped at her parents. She reveals her plan B, her Uncle Nico, her mom's younger brother who was in the mob. The family shunned them as her grandparents fled Sicily to get away from the mob.
I love the mob. I love the mob.
So her family was running away from the mob, from Sicily.
And I'm trying to get in.
Her Uncle Nico cleans up the mob's crime scenes, and she hasn't seen him since her mom's funeral. He had tried to contact her at some point to get his son a job as a janitor at the hospital, and she helped him. Her dad told her before he passed, if she ever found herself in trouble, to contact Nico. She warns him that they will have to pay a cost, probably favors. And then, because this book loves emotional whiplash, Josh asks Allie to be his girlfriend. Again, dead body in the trunk. Casually. Corpse in the trunk. Allie, do you want to be my girlfriend? The position comes with snacks and orgasms and maybe a little light stalking. Allie doesn't hesitate. She says yes. She knows Josh has secrets, but she doubts anything would ever make her regret that decision. So wild.
That's you get this heavy fucking moment, and then just
You be my
like
girlfriend.
They comes with snacks. Yes,
Yes.
yes, please.
Yes, I like that. I want that in my life. So they pull up into a massive Italian-sized villa. Iron gates looming high enough to block out the sky. Before Allie can reach for the call button, a gruff voice cracks over the speaker. Who are you and what the fuck do you want? Allie calmly gives her name and says she's Nico's niece. The gate opens immediately. Josh's stomach drops. This is the exact scenario he's been dreading. Too many people, too much history, too much risk that somebody here might recognize him and connect him to his father. If that happens, Allie will finally know the truth in the worst way possible. So he's panicking.
Yeah.
He reaches into his bag and pulls out a pair of glasses and a ridiculously expensive fake mustache. High-end, realistic, and somehow makes him look like he's a reject from an 80s buddy cop movie. So it's like one of the big fucking cop mustaches.
Yeah. I like it.
Allie says, what the fuck are you doing? Josh checks his reflection in the sun visor and carefully applies the disguise. She tells him not to do that. Josh fires back that she's still right it anyway. And the tension spikes for exactly half a second before they both remember dead body in the trunk.
So you want a mustache ride? Don't forget about this guy. Back out.
They pull up to a massive 5-car garage. Your dream garage.
Yeah. It's a little small.
It's a little small. 5 cars?
Yeah, it's a
Oh,
little
damn.
small.
One bay door opens and a man in a bathrobe stands inside, motioning them in. They park, get out, and Josh straightens to his full height, towering over the man. Nice stash, Porn Joe, Nico says immediately. You Italian? Josh confirms he's a quarter. His mom is Italian and Algerian. Allie immediately snaps at Nico not to say anything racist, and Nico perks up, grinning to pull her into a hug. So Nico's like mob guy. He's like, You Italian? Allie tries to explain that they have a bit of a... Nico cuts her off. Not out here. He ushers them inside through a mudroom. Shoes off. Coffee ordered. Coffee offered. Accepted. More coffee. Nico moves toward an absurdly fancy white and steel coffee machine with more buttons than a spaceship. So, he says casually, what brings you here so early? We killed someone, Allie says. Josh stares at her in horror. She shrugs at him. What? I must have missed the class where they taught us the polite way to tell people about bodies in the car trunks.
That's fair. I guess how else are you going to do it? I guess you could beat around the bush. Just, But no, just what brings you? Got a body in the trunk. Can you help me out?
Can you imagine?
You're going the right guy, I guess.
Chaos erupts. Nico panics, yelling that the feds are watching him, shouting for people to wake up because this is a problem. Greg, the cousin that Allie got a job as a janitor, rushes in and immediately asks for Allie's keys, not because she's staying, but because she needs to leave. The plan forms fast. Greg will take Allie in the car, pretend to be Josh, and draw attention away. Josh will stay behind and explain everything to Nico. Allie hates it but agrees. Josh pulls Greg aside and asks for the details. Safe spot, body removal, misdirection if they're trailed. Greg snaps to Allie to move. Josh immediately steps in. Don't do that again, he says. Greg freezes, takes a step back, apologizes to Allie. Only then does Josh let it go. So he snapped at Allie, and Josh's instincts kicked in and was like,
no,
don't talk to my bitch that way.
Yeah, that's fair. I like Josh.
Greg and Allie leave. Nico shouts again, and 3 more men, each looking increasingly like different versions of Nico, enter the room. Nico returns to the coffee machine. What happened? He asks. Josh refuses to start until he knows Allie is safe. Nico explains they're headed to an auto body shop that the family runs. Car clean, trunk handled, interference drivers ready if needed. Josh finally tells him everything. Brad Blum, the hospital, the confrontation with Allie, the break-in attempt. He explains Brad's missing phone, disabled tracking, and admits he's a hacker, which is probably not a good thing to admit to a mob that you'll probably owe a favor to.
Yeah.
The room shifts instantly into motion. Nico sends one of his sons to retrieve Brad's car. Josh warns them that Brad's phone or computer might contain research on Allie. Location data, surveillance planning. He insists it can't be a smash and grab. It needs to be wiped clean. He asks to go with Junior. Nico spins back to the coffee machine. I'm going to have to make this all again in a to-go mug.
Sponsored by Folgers Black Silk. Not us. The book.
I love, by the way, how after his niece just came, after not seeing her for years, he loves his family, so obviously he's going to do whatever he can for her. Family's like huge to Nico. But she's like, yeah, I have a dead body in the trunk. And he's like, my biggest problem is that I have to remake this coffee into a to-go mug. 40 minutes later, Josh is in the back of a van, sipping a macchiato. Junior sits across from him, flanked by 2 massive men. 2 more sit beside Josh. His phone pings. Allie made it to the garage safely. Relief hits him hard. Where are you? She texts. Doing secret agent shit, he replies. He tells her he slipped a key to his place in her bag. She should take Fred there, their son. She asks about Tyler. Josh texts Tyler. Remember how I agreed to help Allie? Please tell me you 2 hit it off, Tyler replies. Josh tells him he asked Allie to be his girlfriend, and Tyler congratulates him immediately. Josh asks if Allie can stay over. Her house is being fumigated. She'll have her cat. We learn that Fred despises Tyler. Like, Fred fucking does not like Tyler. How dare you impugn the good name of my son? Josh texts. Your son? Yes, Sir Frederick Calucci Hammond, first of his name. I don't know if I said her last name right. Kill me, I don't know. They joke until Tyler asks if Allie knows about Josh's dad. Josh's grin fades. He tells Tyler he plans to tell her tonight. He reassures Allie that Tyler's fine with her staying over. Then the van slams to a stop. Josh's phone flies out of his hand. Through the windshield, they see police cars already outside Brad's house. Junior swears and turns, pointing a gun directly at Josh. They miss something. Josh reaches for his phone to warn Allie. Junior kicks it out of reach. Start talking, pretty boy, Junior says. So he thinks Josh has something to do with the cops being there. So now we're back in Allie's point of view. Allie's had only been awake for 6 hours, but after everything that's happened, she feels completely wrung out. Fred is curled up beside her as she drives toward Josh's apartment. Her chest is tight with unease. Josh hasn't answered her message. Her family hasn't either. The silence feels wrong, but there's nothing she can do about it. When a siren suddenly blares behind her, she nearly has a panic attack before realizing it's not for her. Still shaking, she finally reaches Josh's building. Also, why do the cops do that right when you know you're doing something wrong?
Yeah, just, I don't know, fucking.
It's like they have an instinct on this person knows they're doing something wrong. I'm going to scare him just a little bit.
Yeah.
She grabs Fred's bag and litter box, buzzes Tyler, and heads upstairs. Tyler opens the door with an easy greeting, and Allie immediately announces that it's a cat bathroom emergency before making a beeline for Josh's room. She doesn't really want to be around Tyler too much right now.
That's fair.
It's an ex-hookup. It's a little weird.
On and off kind of deal.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm sleeping with your roommate.
She sets the litter box down. Fred hops in, audibly letting out what they say is like a kitty sigh. Like he's just pissing and he's like, oh, fuck, finally. Allie looks around and it hits her. This is where Josh films. The realization sends an unexpected rush through her, equal parts nerves and arousal. But the moment is broken when Tyler asks if she wants coffee.
Jesus Christ.
I told you. They love coffee. Okay. She laughs despite herself and says yes. Apparently coffee is the love language of this entire book, and that was part of my notes.
Yeah, sponsored by Folgers. Maxwell House, one of them.
She heads back out to grab the rest of her things, leaving the door unlocked as instructed. As she reaches her car, her phone rings. Josh? She answers immediately. Are you okay? Not Josh, a woman says. It's Vern, her lab tech friend who ran the DNA for her. As Vern talks, Allie walks back inside and sinks down into Josh's bed. Vern tells her the DNA did not match Josh, but she kept digging. She didn't find Josh, she found his father. The DNA from the bloody bandages shares 50% with the Ken doll killer, is what his dad's name profile was. Allie's vision goes fuzzy, her heart pounds. Instinct screams at her to run, to get out of the apartment immediately. She asks Vern to keep the information to herself and hangs up, already planning to go back to Nico's place, the safest option she can think of. But then she stops. She thinks about Josh, about everything he's done, his gentleness, his care, his protectiveness. She knows what dangerous people feel like. Josh isn't that. A knock sounds. Tyler lets her know that coffee is ready. When she opens the door, he notices her expression immediately and asks if she's okay. She tells him she just had a shock. They sit together with mugs, and Allie carefully asks about Josh's dad. Tyler gets visibly angry. He explains that after Josh's father was arrested, Josh's mom took him to a psychologist, one with proving psychopathy was genetic. Josh became the doctor's golden goose within a month. Josh and his mom were convinced he needed to be medicated for the rest of his life or he'd be turned into his father. So it was like malpractice type shit. The doctor eventually lost his license after multiple families sued. Josh never should have been on those meds. Tyler makes it clear Josh has quirks, but none of the signs of antisocial personality disorder, and the fact that Tyler is still alive is proof enough. Allie tells Tyler about the cameras, the watching, the stalking. Tyler exhales in relief. At least it's not just him. Josh also tracks the shit out of Tyler.
Oh, damn.
And again, remember if you remember from the beginning, Josh does background checks on everybody Tyler brings home.
Yeah.
And all kinds of shit. So he's just glad that it's not just him.
Yeah, that's fair. He just does it to everybody.
He explains how Josh went into hiding because of the media, because he looks so much like his father. He shows her a photo, and he's right, the resemblance is uncanny. She also learns that Josh is vegan. Suddenly, the terrible eggs and bacon make sense. Josh's father once ground one of his victims into hamburger meat and fed it to people at a block party. Allie feels sick, but also strangely grounded. She understands Josh better now. She sees the parallels between them. Two people trying to rewrite history in opposite ways. Right on cue, the front door opens. Josh walks in. Allie's on her feet in an instant. He wraps her in a crushing hug, lifting her clean off the ground. You're safe, they both say at the same time. Remember, he couldn't text her.
That's so sweet.
It is. Tyler grins, relieved, and says he's glad Josh is back. And glad Allie knows about his dad. Allie immediately tries to kick him while still in Josh's arms. I think she says, turn me around so I can kick him, please. It was so funny. When she's back on her feet, she tells Josh she understands why he does what he does, why he hides behind a mask and a persona. You're doing the same thing as I am, she says, trying to rewrite history. She explains that she tries to save every patient to make up for not saving her mom. Josh does the opposite of his father's crime, bringing fear for pleasure, not pain. He doesn't want to kill anybody.
Yeah.
When she asks why He stopped answering her. Josh explains. The cops were at Brad's house serving an arrest warrant for a previous victim. One of Allie's cousins held him at gunpoint until they sorted it all out, but Josh refuses to say which cousin because he knows she would kick his ass.
Yeah.
She presses, he refuses. They fill each other in on everything that happened while they were apart, the tension finally easing, exhaustion hitting them both at once, and they decide to take a shower. Josh scoops Allie up, but Fred darts in at the last second, making Josh stumble. They tumble back onto the bed together, laughing. You're getting extra treats tonight, he tells Fred for being his wingman. So now we're in Josh's point of view. Josh is feeling grateful, lucky even, to have Allie in his life. She reached him in a way no one ever could, proving he's not like his father. His thoughts are interrupted by Fred meowing. He tells Allie to stay put, warning her that he plans to punish her for leaving the room the night Brad broke in. She tries to defend her choice, but Josh insists it was dangerous. Which it was. They share a quiet, intense moment. Allie inspects him, telling him he's beautiful. Josh asks if she sees his father in him. She says no, she sees her boyfriend and she needs him. Right now.
Damn, I need you right now. I know we've been doing a lot. We killed a man. Went to see my mob uncle. And hid the body.
Broke into a house.
But I need that dick.
Or I guess he didn't break into the house yet, but oops. That's all it takes for his control to start slipping. He tells her to turn around and put her hands on the wall, warning her that he doesn't have the patience to go easy. Allie is totally on board. She spreads her legs and tells him she doesn't want it easy. As he starts to enter her, she tenses up, and he has to grip her hip and snake a hand around her throat to steady her. He calls her a good girl. When she promises to relax, but she's practically begging for more. Josh tries to warn her again, telling her he needs to go slow so he doesn't hurt her. But she isn't having it. She tells him, it's yours, take it, claim it, don't hold back, fuck your girlfriend.
God damn.
She does what she wants. That's the breaking point. Josh loses the last of his restraint. He pulls back until just the head is inside and then delivers a ruthless, deep thrust that makes Allie yelp, like it hurts her at first, because it's so large. He pauses for a second, worried he's overdone it, but she just demands more, so he gives it to her. He's thrusting hard, biting her shoulder and teasing her nipples in the air, until the air in the shower is thick with it. He asks if she's on the pill, and when she says yes, and tells him she wants him to come inside her. He hits her clit with a pinch that sends her straight over the edge, but he's not done. He spins her around, slams her against the shower wall, and tells her to look him in the eye. He says, give me another one, Allie. Be a good girl and come on your boyfriend's dick. The dirty talk absolutely wrecks her. She arches her back to come again, her eyes losing focus as she screams his name. Hearing her say Josh with that much reverence is what finishes him off. He unloads deep inside her, pinning her there until they're both breathless and shaking. As they come down from the high, Allie makes a joke that she needs to go get the morning after pill anyway. She says she's on birth control, but she doesn't trust her ovaries around him. Josh totally agrees, saying he doesn't trust his sperm either. They start kissing, and you can tell they're all about to go for round 2, right then in the water, but then, boom, the front door opens. It's Tyler.
So the guy is a yogurt dispenser, I guess.
Yeah.
Damn. Jelly.
He do be a yogurt dispenser. It's Tyler. He shouts a greeting into the apartment, completely oblivious, and Josh and Allie are forced to actually, wash themselves and act like normal people instead of doing it again. So, this next chapter, Allie and Josh return to her house with Fred. On arrival, they noticed a large SUV and wonder if it's a cousin. After taking Fred out, they go inside and find Junior waiting at her kitchen table. He needs Josh to help hack Brad's computer remotely. Josh explains that doing it remotely is not simple, and Allie insists she go with him. Junior protests, saying it's no job for a woman, so Josh wants to go and hack it at Bradley's house.
Yeah.
Josh jokes about Allie taking her earrings out because they're fighting. So he's like, you want me to hold your earrings? Junior warns her about the rough men on the team. Josh is relaxed, eating popcorn from their packed food, enjoying their back and forth. So he's literally just like kind of in the background, just fucking munching popcorn like he's watching reality TV.
That's great.
Allie asks Junior to fill her in on the cover-up. The car went to a chop shop, and Junior assures her the body handling is being taken care of by trusted men. Junior also tells her Nika wants her to join for dinner once a month as payment for the family helping her. Allie accepts, realizing she doesn't have much choice, and Josh promises they'll go together. So he's going to go to the family meetings with her.
That ain't a bad deal.
Finally, Junior urges them to get moving so they can reach Brad's computer by nightfall. Allie is disappointed she can't linger, but Josh reminds her they still have 2 weeks together. Josh's point of view is this chapter. The back of the van was already packed when Josh and Allie climbed inside. 6 men filled the space, weapons kept low, faces calm in a way that made Josh's stomach tighten. These were men who had done this before. Allie settled close beside him, their knees brushing. Josh stayed rigid and alert. What happens if the cops are there again? Allie asks under her breath. Junior doesn't turn around. They won't be. We've got eyes on the house. He passed back throat mic. Josh helps Allie fit hers first, and she helps fit his, her fingers lingering just a moment longer than necessary. She squeezes his hand once, steady, grounding, and it was enough to keep him focused. He makes Allie promise she will stay in the van with Junior. The problem started before they even reached the door. First was the generator. The house wasn't just running on independent power. The security system was tied directly into it. The tech muttered a sharp curse while attempting to shut it down remotely. Then came the floodlights, motion activated, blindingly bright, and also running off the generator. One by one, they were jammed with devices that looked like a radar gun until the yard dropped back into darkness. They moved fast after that. Then the smell hit them the moment they crossed the threshold. Rot, thick, sweet, unmaskably wrong. They smell dead bodies. And Josh recognizes it from that cookout.
Yeah.
Josh followed the team lead towards the office. His focus narrowed on the computer on the desk. Brad's computer. Time felt tight, compressed, slipping through his fingers. Then voices came through his headset. Found the source. Basement. 2 large piles of cat litter. Josh's stomach dropped. The litter wasn't for the cats. It was for covering decomposition. The team leader doesn't hesitate. Everyone out now. The bodies were discovered. This stopped being a cleanup and became a full-scale investigation. No one wanted to be anywhere near that. So the mob was like, no.
Yeah. Don't want to get tied to those.
I need a few minutes, Josh said. That computer. We're leaving, the leader snapped. You can come with us or stay. I'm staying, Allie said immediately. The comms erupted, voices overlapping, arguing, warning, until Allie dove her knee into Junior's groin and bolted out of the van. So she just kicks him in the balls and runs.
So broke that promise.
Yep. Don't touch her, Josh barks into the mic. Anyone. That's not a request. So he doesn't really want her out of the van.
But don't stop her.
Yeah. Don't fucking touch my girl. He guides Allie near the back of the house, pressed into shadows. He tells her to stay in the wall, like near right where the house is shadowed. Stay here, don't move. Then Josh got to work. He scraped the browser history first, filtering anything tied to Allie, her name, her address, the hospital itself. He launched a hidden file sweep and set it running while he searched the house for Brad's phone. Then Allie's voice came through the mic, tight and urgent. Josh, I think someone just pulled up. He glances out the window, a car set at the curb. We need to go, she says. He knew, but when he returned to the computer, his stomach sank. There was too much. Far too much. Josh shuts the door and locks it. Eventually the knob jiggles. Voices filtered through, older, familiar, a man and a woman arguing quietly about a spare key in a nightstand, and Josh thinks that this is Bradley's mom and dad. His chest tightens. They tried the door. It held. Footsteps retreated. Josh works faster, downloading everything wholesale. No time to curate, just take it all. The knob rattled again. He shoves a chair beneath it to pressure the door. The lock strain. Someone curses, then silence. So he's like literally using his fingertips to like hold the lock in place too. Josh shuts the system down, swung the window open, and climbs out, misjudging the drop. He hit a beam, slipped and slammed into the ground hard enough to knock the air from his lungs.
Oh, that's rough.
Allie was there instantly, hauling him upright like he weighed nothing. Call Junior, Josh gasped. Tell him to turn the alarms back on. She did without hesitation. Josh grabs a chair, smashes it through the patio door, and the alarm screamed to life. Lights flared, chaos erupted behind them. Hey! Someone shouted. They ran. Branches tore at Josh's arms as they disappeared into the woods. His lungs burned, but he didn't slow until the house was nothing more than a distant glow. They won't need a warrant now, he said between breaths. Alarms triggered. They'll smell the bodies over it. It's over. Allie grabbed his jacket and kissed him, hard, desperate, and alive. Then she pulled back. Move, remembering their situation. So things were about to get frisky, but then she was like, oh shit, we're running.
Yeah, we can't do this right here.
So then they did. They ran. Allie and Josh ran through the snow-covered woods, every step a struggle. The cold bit through their shoes and clothes, numbing their limbs until movement became painful. Their breaths became sharp, hearts hammering, as they climbed the hill towards the meeting point. Junior's voice cracked faintly through the earpiece, going in and out with interference, so they were close.
Yeah.
The sound of sirens made Allie flinch, panic rising in her chest, a spotlight suddenly sweeping through the trees, forcing them to drop to the snow-covered ground. Their bodies pressed low as light roamed overhead, passing them over once more, twice, and finally moving on. Junior's voice returned, frantic, ordering them to move back to the trees. Their limbs ached, frozen and stiff, but Josh picked Allie up without hesitation when she faltered, holding her close against his chest as he navigated the slippery underbrush. So he fully picks her up, even though, like, he literally fell from at least a 2-story building.
Yeah.
Cracked it, like, I think it describes his ribs, like, just completely black and blue.
Yeah, that shit sucks. From
He
experience.
He got fucked up. Finally, they reached the SUV. Heat from the running engine and blankets provided relief as they climbed inside. They climbed inside, huddled together. Allie's teeth chattered uncontrollably as warmth slowly returned to her numb body. Junior's voice, still tense, relayed that the cops had discovered the bodies and that Brad's parents were cooperating. The mom would make it appear as if Bradley fled. Josh's hands tightened on Allie's, voice low and firm. Twice now, he said. You broke a promise. Allie's lips pressed into a thin line. She had known it was dangerous to leave the van, but she had no choice. Junior continued, outlining what to do if the authorities approached. Allie listened, her mind half on the task, half on the silent anticipation building between her and Josh. They get back to Josh's car, and when he returned with more blankets, he wrapped them around her, pulling her close with effortless strength. She tried to protest, pointing out the absurdity of being carried to the car after just running through miles and miles of forest. But Josh only bites her hand, laughing with a playful glint in his eye. Kinky, he murmured, and she couldn't help but shiver again. Even amidst the snow, the fear, and the chaos, she felt a flicker of safety. For the first time that night, it wasn't just blankets or the heat. It was him, Josh, solid, present, guarding her in a world that had gone violently off-kilter. So now we're in Josh's point of view. Josh felt every muscle in his body scream in protest. His ribs throbbed from impact. His arms ached from carrying Allie, and his legs were stiff from hours of running through the snow. He wasn't in any condition to teach Allie a lesson or even fully move without wincing, but he couldn't help but notice the way she jumped at every sudden motion, her reaction satisfying in his own twisted way. So, like, every time she thinks he's going to punish her for breaking the promise, so every time he, like, moves fast, she's like, ah, shit.
That's great.
Fred, pacing and yelling, was clearly upset that they had left him alone, and Josh made a mental note that they might need a new kitten, someone for Fred to play with for companionship. He left Allie and Fred to reunite while he turned the shower on, leaving his phone on the kitchen counter with the alarm set loud. From experience.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to miss it. Standing in front of the bathroom mirror, Josh takes in the full extent of his damage. His ribs were bruised, almost black, a map of pain across his torso. He stepped into the hot water and began scrubbing obsessively, trying to wash away the lingering stench from Brad's house. The smell clung stubbornly to him, no matter how much soap he used. When Allie joins him, he confesses the memory behind the smell. One summer, his father had dragged him to a store, and the reek of decay in the trunk had been so strong that Josh gagged by the time they parked. He admitted he believed it had been one of his father's victims in his dad's trunk that night.
That stays with you.
Yeah.
It's like the clap.
The conversation turned to events of the evening, their words heated but grounded in concern. Allie chastises him gently, arguing he shouldn't have risked himself so recklessly. I wasn't trying to sacrifice myself for you, Josh said, his voice low, raw with exhaustion, and the last thing I think you are is a damsel in distress. I just want to keep you safe, and I'm sorry if I go overboard about it, but I care about you, Allie. I'm sure Tyler warned you that I go too far when it comes to people I care about. Allie quietly acknowledges that. He may have mentioned it. It was enough to ease some of the tension. Josh moves to clean her sore body with soap, gently rubbing bruised muscles and aching limbs. Allie's gaze flicks to his own injuries, his ribs, the deep marks on his skin, and then reluctantly to the outline of his arousal. Neither spoke, simply cataloging the damage that they sustained together. After a long, tense silence, Allie declared that nothing appeared to be broken and instructed him to ice everything once they got out of the shower. Josh groaned at the thought. After a night of freezing in the snow, the prospect sounded miserable, but he obeyed. He warned her that if he didn't eat soon, he might pass out, and he admitted he might be too injured to give her the attention she deserves. So he's like, look,
I'm hurting pretty bad, and I got a boner, but
I'm real hungry, and I'm going to go to sleep. Allie softened, acknowledging his limits while also signaling trust. They stepped out of the shower, shivering and sore, but Josh had other plans. Even
Lord.
bruised and battered, he was already thinking several moves ahead, determined to protect her while still claiming a small victory for himself. This is where it gets really steamy, Cam. Allie wakes up to her ceiling bathed in red light, only to realize she's been tied to her bed. The faceless man is sitting in her chair, twirling a skinning knife. He's back in character, using a modulated voice, and tells her to spread her legs. I don't think I mentioned this. She's like fully handcuffed to the bed, like arms raised up, legs down. Maybe not legs, just arms, but she's fully handcuffed to the bed. He tells her to spread her legs. Even though she's terrified, she complies. He drags the tip of the knife up her inner thigh, telling her she's beautiful when she's scared. Allie realizes this is a mental game just as much as a physical one. He tells her not to move a muscle. Then he uses the knife to slice her pajama shorts right off her body.
I just bought those.
She does get mad about that later on. She was like, you destroyed my set. When he feels how wet she is, he doesn't go easy on her. He shoves 3 fingers inside, fucking her with a kind of controlled aggression that makes her realize this isn't just about her pleasure, it's about his dominance. Just as she starts to lean into it, he pulls away. He sucks his fingers clean right in front of her, then reaches for a small butt plug. He coats it in her own arousal before sliding it into her. When she winces, he distracts her by teasing her clit until the toy is fully seated. Then he shows her the remote, clicks a button, and lets her feel the vibration while she's still trapped in her restraints. Then things get even more intense. He flips her onto her stomach, face down, ass up, and holds her in place with a hand between her shoulder blades. He unzips his pants and slides into her, and the lecture begins. Between thrusts, he gives her a sharp spank, telling her, I need to be able to trust you. Allie is shocked to find she actually loves the brat taming aspect of it. He settles into this wild rhythm. In, spank, out, vibrate. It turns Allie into a completely different person. She's moaning, pleading, and apologizing all at once. He grabs her hair, pulling her head back, and as he's pushing her toward the edge, he brings the cold metal of the knife back to her throat. He demands, let me feel that perfect pussy choke this cock.
That's a lot to do at one time.
It's like a bit extreme.
Rubbing your stomach and tapping your head.
Yeah. All at one time.
Yeah, it's hard.
It do be. But Allie absolutely loses it, coming harder than she ever has before. As the days clears, Josh is petting her and praising her like a good girl. Allie is so overwhelmed by the intensity that she accidentally lets the truth slip. I think I'm falling for you. Josh doesn't miss a beat. He jokes that if a little spanking was all it took to get her to say that, he would have done it the day they met. But then the mask, metaphorically, stays off. He rolls off of her, pins her down. As he starts to get hard again, he confesses, I think I'm falling for you too. And then they go for round 2.
He is a, unstoppable Gogurt.
Just unlimited Gogurt.
Unlimited Gogurt.
It's been 3 weeks since the Brad incident, and the tension from the night still lingered. Josh had found a tracker in Allie's car shortly after from the mob.
Oh.
And that made Allie change all the locks on her house.
That's
Now
fair.
they were standing at Nico's door for their monthly family dinner. The door opened, and Nico steps out, pulling Allie into a firm, familiar hug. Moria, I think that's how you say your name, Moira, Moria? Nico's wife followed closely behind. She waved her husband off gently. "Nico, don't scare her," she said with a smile. "Come on inside, everybody." As they stepped in the house, Maura's eyes swept over Josh, taking in his presence. "Well done," she says to Allie with a playful wink. Josh tensed. He hadn't expected appraisal, but he wasn't sure how much attention he wanted to draw to him tonight. Allie, as usual, couldn't stay quiet. She pressed for details of the investigation, and the room tensed. Talk waits until after dinner, they were told. It's a tradition. But she kept nudging, poking, and questioning. Nico's patience frailed slightly, leading to a playful bickering and jabs back and forth between them. Dinner itself was quiet. The family mostly ate in silence, and the occasional clink of silverware the only noise. Allie finally asks again if they could go over the investigation, and Nico gives in. Moira disappeared to make coffee.
God damn it.
And the sons followed along, leaving Allie, Josh, and Nico and Junior in Nico's office. Nico quickly filled them in. The police had found no trace of Josh, Allie, or their team. They used Brad's shoe size on Josh as decoys, and the cops believe the scene in the office that night involved Brad and an accomplice, not anyone else. When Josh asks about Brad's phone, they confirmed it had been recovered, but most of his searches were tied to a nurse Allie had removed from the hospital room, the one that he had been stalking in the ER. Nico let it slip that he knows about Josh's father. Allie's eye narrowed immediately. "That's the last one you will make," referring to his comment.
Yeah.
So she threatens him. Nico nods in acknowledgement, and the conversation returned to logistics and updates on what had been happening. By the time it was over, both Allie and Josh felt a rare, confident sense that everything was under control. Allie excused herself to the bathroom, leaving Josh and Nico in the entrance of the house. Josh turned to Nico, extending his hand in gratitude. Nico refuses it, his expression unreadable. "I don't trust you," he said bluntly, "and you've been very rude." Josh meets his gaze calmly and tells him he recorded the whole conversation in the office and he could make his life a hell. He extends his hand once more, leaving Nico the choice, friends or enemies. After a moment of consideration, Nico finally shook it. And that moment was really fucking tense. Nico was like, "I don't trust you, I know who your dad is."
Yeah.
Allie returned to the room just in time to hear Nico jab at Josh. She glares, clearly annoyed, but Josh simply played it off, calm and unshaken. They finished their goodbyes and left the house, stepping out into the evening air. Once in the car, Josh turns to her. "Hey," he said softly. "I love you." Allie smiles knowingly. "I know," she replied. "I've heard you say it in your sleep. I love you too." For the first time in weeks, the weight of everything they had endured seemed to lift just enough to allow them both a small shared peace. We're finally in the epilogue, and it kicks off with high stakes, a literal hunt through the forest. Allie and Josh have a wager. If he catches her within 20 minutes, she loses. The penalty? She has to star in one of his thirst traps for the very first time, and Josh gets full creative control. She gets a 5-minute head start, but Josh is a predator by nature. Allie is sprinting, trying to be silent, but 10 minutes in, a sharp snap behind her signals he's close. She plunges into a tiny rabbit trail, thinking she's clever, since Josh is too big to fit. But the second she breaks back into the clearing, he tackles her. They scramble in the dirt. Allie is fighting dirty, throwing elbows and trying to pinwheel away, but Josh is relentless. He manages to snag her shirt as they tumble down a hill and splash straight into a muddy creek. In the chaos of the mud, Josh finally pins her hands above her head and claims his prize. Their watches beep. He won with only seconds to spare. The mood shifts from the thrill of the chase to pure animal need. Allie arches into him, wanting him to fuck the last of her resistance away. As they come together in the mud, the intensity of the moment catches Allie off guard, and she blurts out, "Marry me."
Damn.
Immediately she panics, starting to scramble to get her pants back on, apologizing and feeling like she's ruined the moment, until she turns around. Josh is down on one knee in the mud, holding an actual ring. He's been planning this all along. And I'm going to mess up her last name again. Alyssa Capicelli, he says, "Will you marry me so I can spend the rest of my life chasing you?" The panic turns into pure joy. Allie jokes that she thought people got married to stop the chase, but Josh makes it clear, for him, the pursuit never ends. She throws her arms around him and says yes. On the way back to the Airbnb, we get the closure we needed on the thriller side of things. It turns out that they were never even suspects in Bradley's disappearance. Between Nico's help and the general reputation of Bradley's family, the media assumes his parents smuggled him out of the country to escape his crimes. Bradley is gone, and Allie and Josh are free. They get back to the house only to find a disaster zone. Toilet paper is everywhere. It's their newest problem child, a kitten named Maud, who is busy nesting in the wreckage. Fred joins in on the chaos, and Josh looks at the mess and tells Allie he hopes their future kids are as crazy as the cats. He jokes about having 8 kids, and Allie's brain tells her to negotiate that number down to 2. They go back and forth for a while, but her heart and her ovaries aren't so sure once she pictures Josh holding a baby and a toddler at the same time. The story ends with a kiss and the realization that for Allie, this isn't just a happy ending. It's the start of a million more perfect days.
Oh.
How do you say "oh" after this man just chased and just straight fucked her in the mud?
It. She wanted it. He wanted it.
It was so funny because he was like 8 kids and she was like 2, and he was like 7 kids and she was like 2. She's like, if you keep on, it's gonna be 0. And he's like, come on, can you imagine me holding a baby and a toddler in the other arm? And she's like, oh shit, that's lights out. What did you think?
What a story.
It was a hell
I'm
of a story.
invested. Is there a second book?
There is a second book. I think it's called Caught Up, and I think there's a third book, but it's not about Josh and Allie. I think they all follow different ones. I think the next one actually might be about Nico,
That'd be cool.
the uncle,
I'd be
which
down for that.
is weird because he's married to Maura.
Yeah.
So I don't know what
He's in the
happens.
mob. It doesn't count.
But yeah, so
I'd be interested to carry on the story, but that was a wild story sponsored by Folgers.
it definitely should have been. There was so much coffee. If anybody's listening and counting how many times that they drank coffee or were offered coffee, please let me know, because that was insane. And what would you rate it, like, smut-wise? What would your smutty rating be?
So I don't know exactly the books, but I've heard you talk about some other books before. And this one doesn't sound as crazy. So, like, give it, like, 2 bananas out of 5.
2 bananas out of 5.
Yeah.
Do you think Josh is a green flag or a red flag?
I think he's, like, part green flag, part red flag. Like, the red flag's, like, small, but because he's doing everything in a weird way, but he's doing it
Consensually and safe,
yeah.
for the most part.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all for Lights Out. So next time, I'm going to do the big drum roll reveal. Do you want to do the drum roll? We are going to be reading Leave Me Behind by K.M. Minorva, I think is how you say her last name. And this time, instead of showing Cam fan art, I'm going to show him the book cover, because the artist actually does her own book covers, or the author actually does her own book covers. And I couldn't decide. I was looking through all the fan art she made for her own book, and it's all incredible. But I feel like what really captures it is, like, the cover of the book. So
Okay.
For this special exception, because the author is such an incredible artist, I wanted to show you the cover, and I wanted to get your first reactions on it.
So people listening, we got 2 tattooed people in robes and a knife, and it's on there's a crosshair pointing at them. And they're in the woods. The only good riot soldier is a dead one, is what it says at the top.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
It's so hard to not say anything.
I don't know what that
you.
means.
What do you think happens in the book? What kind of book do you think this is? Do you think it's going to be a dark romance, or do you think it's going to be... What do you think it's going to be?
Enemies to lovers.
Ooh, that's one of my favorite tropes.
That's what I think it's going to be. Like, I'm trying to convey this. It's like either the woman is, like, part of something that the guy is, like, ordered to take care of, and he ends up just falling in love with her or something like that.
That's pretty damn good. I'll give you 2 bananas for that. All right. Well, I guess that's that's a wrap for the very first episode of Married to the Plot. That was exciting, and I'm so sorry if it's so long.
No, it's okay. We got the whole book through here.
Yeah. I'm still learning, okay, to do notes and read and not make it 3 hours long. So
And
hopefully.
I'm messing with the audio and the editing, so I apologize if we'll figure it out. We'll get there. In the meantime, make sure to check us out on all social medias. We're on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Is that all?
YouTube?
And YouTube. She posts shorts for things that I don't understand. We're also on a lot of podcast platforms. We're not on all of them, I've come to find out. That could change. Just let us know where you want us, and we'll be there.
Thank you guys for listening. We'll see you next time.
Now go read something naughty.
Ooh.